Good evening and welcome to Slices and Dices, where we find out how many slices it takes to get to the center of our dice.
Nice.
Bing.
Nice.
Is this a bit? You bet it is. Tonight. Oh, who's that?
Somebody got a phone?
Yeah.
Got a phone call?
Someone
Is that
pick that
that
up?
mythical device? Is that a landline?
Who's got a
Hello.
phone? Who's got a phone call?
Yep. That's
shit.
Call of Cthulhu tonight.
Oh my god. Jonathan. Amazing. He's already outdone me. He's already outdone me.
That's right. Tonight we're playing Call of Cthulhu. We're
Oh
back
my
in-
god. It's Call of Cthulhu. Jesus. Jonathan, Maeve would be proud.
My
Sidebar,
sanity is already below 50.
There's a great radio play out there called the Drunk Call of Cthulhu, which I did a voice in, and you should
Ooh.
look it up. It's really funny.
Okay.
The drunk Call of
It's
Cthulhu.
old.
The Drunk Call of Cthulhu.
Done.
Well, I'm Jonathan, your keeper for this evening, and joining me are these intrepid investigators. Please, by all means, introduce yourselves. I'm not aware who's above me or to the right of me.
I'll start because I don't want to be last because I have an intense fear of being last.
Relatable.
It comes
Dodgeball.
It comes from middle school. Hi everybody, I'm Matt. I'm playing Sofian tonight. As a pickup from the last time that we saw Sofian. I guess we'll just go from. I'm just gonna give you my name and who I'm playing, and we'll get into the character later. But yeah, that's me.
Okay, next would be I actually don't have the template up.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll go.
Yeah, Sarah.
Okay.
Well, Sarah's that
We'll
way.
just volunteer.
Sarah's to
All
my left. Go ahead.
I
Okay.
am Sarah, and I am playing the linguist Chang Mei. And remember, Chinese name, so Mei is actually her first name.
Okay,
Just to keep y'all on your toes.
Which I'm gonna fix next time.
Thanks, May.
thank you. So next up would be Tauron.
Hi, so yeah, I am Taron, and I am playing as the Russian assistant, Timur Repin. I swear my Russian is really off.
It's not bad. It's actually
No, it's great.
It's not
You're doing
good.
fantastic,
It's
man.
not bad.
We'll land it by the end.
Just remember, yeah,
I'll give you lessons in
da,
that too.
and yet. That's it.
Da, niet.
And Sto?
And
I'll-
articles are optional.
Placebo.
Placebo?
Not placebo. Placebo.
No, spasiva.
Placebo.
All right, looping around. Chris.
Hello, everyone. I am Chris Pesor, and I'll be playing Charles Lockhart this evening. Everyone, just remember that I'm here to shake hands, kiss babies, and kick ass.
That's right. And finally, last and certainly not least, Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa, and I am, in real life and in this game, the wife of Chris, aka Diplomat Charles. I'm Dr. Eleanor Lockhart, an archaeologist and academic who is breaking the ceiling for this time period, and we're excited to continue on our travels together.
Indeed, and thank you. And speaking of the time period, this is not, first of all, this is not your usual setting for Call of Cthulhu. We are not in the northeast of America, namely Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Fucking Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Nothing good happens in Massachusetts. Where the Patriots came from.
Uh,
Bill Belichick. Yeah, you're right.
oof. Man, we're losing all of our Massachusetts fan base here.
Rip
so-
Tom Brady's marriage.
Oh, Jesus
Oh.
Christ. Okay.
Anyway,
Please save us. Save us.
we are on the other side of the globe in China, specifically 1920s China, even more specifically 1923. A very interesting time, as it is a time before what we are familiar with in the modern era. Namely, this is before the Cultural Revolution, before World War II. This is a period in between the fall of the Qing dynasty, twice, and the rise of Mao Zedong. This is actually known as the National Republic of China, or Republic of China. And yeah, it's a very tumultuous period. A lot of interesting things are happening. This is right after the Great War. So China took part in that actually. And now we have some interesting things to address, as this is also a great time for archaeology and history. Now, with that, I'm going to go into a recap, as we had actually come out of the In the Hereafter one-shot. You should go check that out if you have not seen it yet. It's quite a lot of fun, and we made some people very hungry in this stream.
I just opened up my notes, and I have notes about food you mentioned that now I want to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I had dinner before this.
Me too.
Same.
Missed
Bratwurst
opportunity. I had
tonight.
Thai for dinner tonight.
Nice, nice.
Please don't eat
Yeah.
tie-dye.
No.
No.
Starting off
Only if it's
strong.
food grade.
Starting off strong,
Yeah,
Tyler.
Food grade.
So, let's see, is that playing? Should be playing.
I don't know.
If you see me
Oh, yeah.
flailing around, it's because there's a mosquito in my room that I'm really trying
What
to
is
murder.
playing?
Music.
There should be a little bit of music.
There is
Oh, hang on,
music.
hang on.
I'm hearing it.
Oh, I think I have my music way down.
I'm gonna bring mine up.
So, it's late September 1923. Professor Huang and Lai of Yenching University in Peking has gathered a number of friends and associates with particular sets of skills to help with answering a call for help. I didn't have a handout before, but I now do have a handout for the good professor.
Oh, there he
Oh.
is.
Ah,
He's a handsome gentleman.
I was going to say, he's a good-looking man.
Yes.
Oh,
And
chill out over there.
But I'm
Come on.
handshake this guy.
Calm down.
very good handshake, and he's also in charge of the American School of Archaeology at Yenching University. Now, a friend of his, Langdon Warner, whom some of you may know, renowned archaeologist, had sent a telegram to him requesting assistance. His last known location is Dunhuang, near where the Cave of the Thousand Buddhas is located. Warner was not specific in the help he needed, but only that it came quickly. As such, you took a motorcade escort south from Peking and reached Xi'an in a few days. It was a rather comfortable drive. You were escorted by some very happy Chinese army soldiers, as what's a cushier job than escorting a group of foreigners from one city to another. There, arriving in Xi'an, you would set out to acquire supplies and transport to Dunhuang. Though brief, your time in Xi'an was eventful. Staying at the Kulo house in the Muslim quarter, you began to hear rumors of small, strange thieves pilfering items from residents and travelers. Even more unusual, the items were not of particular monetary value, but of sentimental ones. Eventually, you discovered that the thefts were the fault of a desperate merchant named Sai Na. Those deaths were the illegal plundering of his ancestral tombs, not the valuables in question. In fact, the real culprits were a band of Kuizumen, terracotta dolls buried with the dead, usually, to act as servants in the afterlife. And these were possessed by spirits to reclaim what was taken from the tombs and punish their descendant for his deaths. Upon realizing this, you made peace with the Kuizumen and appeased them, saved Sayana from his ancestors' wrath, and stopped the deaths for now. The following morning, you packed up your belongings and loaded them onto mapas, so like donkeys and mules, basically, pulled by carts. Well, rather, they're pulling carts. The carts, you do not put the cart before the mappa.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Okay.
Happening.
Don't put the mappa before the donkey.
It's happening.
Yep.
It's happening.
And you had purchased these from the reputed caravan outfitter, Mi Han. I will actually provide a handout for the gentleman, just to remind you.
Where's Neon? There he is. Mihan.
Yes, I remember him.
Mr. Mi,
That's a
a
gentleman.
devout
Yes.
Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside a handful of porters, workers, and Mihan's own son, Mi Hu, whom I actually do have a handout for. Charming gentleman.
There he is.
Aw, look at
Okay.
his little baby
Similar
face.
taste in hats.
Nice smile.
I like the
Mhm.
hats.
Yeah. Like father, like son.
Indeed. It is actually noted he takes after his father and has the same warm smile. You all headed off on your month-long journey through the Kansu corridor toward Dunhuang. Now,
Look like each other.
first, I'm going to do something a little cool.
Whoa!
Welcome to the map of
Ooh.
Central Asia, the Tibetan Plateau, and northern India,
Oh my
circa 1923.
Holy
goodness!
shit.
Look at that big old map.
Hot
So
diggity damn.
Are we
And-
getting our little Indiana Jones dotted red line?
We better. We better.
Da-da-da-da, yes. Da-da-da,
So first,
da-da-da,
It's over there, it's over there.
da-da-da-da-da.
This is
just to show the audience how far our investigators have traveled.
yeah.
We've traveled farther in this campaign so far than we have in the other run of Call of Cthulhu. Crossing,
Combined.
yeah, crossing from Peking all the way to Xi'an.
Damn, that is a lot. Wait, let me. Where's the legend? I'm gonna.
Legend should be-
I'm gonna measure.
Down- It's
Bottom
down
right hand
there.
corner.
My God,
Yeah.
it's only 32 feet. It's only 32
Yeah,
feet
it's
from
just-
Xi'an
it's
to
just-
Peking.
Which is about 600 to 800 kilometers.
That's
Oh.
what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see. What's
Keep going,
32
keep
feet?
going.
32 feet is
Almost 500 miles. 500 miles. man.
500. You know, I would walk 500 miles.
And that's a
Waiting for
straight.
that.
And Matt, that's a
I'd
straight
walk
line.
500 more.
Yeah,
That's a straight line. Hang on, let's see.
probably would have walked 500 more.
Hi.
Just to be the man.
18
Ooh.
plus 16.2.
Oh God, look at you.
That is.
Look at you. It's like we're
There
on.
you go.
It's like we're on
It's
vacation.
actually 39.8.
Yeah.
34.2 feet. Yeah,
It's
you're
actually,
pretty right.
if you
Mhm.
really follow our path, it's about 40.
Mhm.
Good gracious, Macius.
There you
And-
go.
40?
About 40.
That's the most direct.
Mhm.
That is at a minimum 500 and
50 miles, probably.
almost
Not that-
almost
it's over 700.
almost 700.
Jesus.
Yep.
Over 700.
And we've
And-
done this over how many days?
That was
According-
before this last adventure.
Oh, I
yeah,
know, but
yeah, according to the book, it only took you maybe a few days by motor car.
oh, by motor car. Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Now,
This is not D&D. We didn't walk.
You know, I get this mindset. I got to get rid of it. It's hard.
now, for the record, you're headed towards Dunhuang. Dunhuang, which is right here.
Mm.
That is the distance you will be traveling
We have to go twice as far.
Twice.
Through the
Yes.
mountains,
by
Ah.
foot.
or at least
Oh,
around the
but
And
mountains.
of course,
Oh, damn!
Yes.
We got to go
By
through the mountains. We can't go around them.
no.
We can't go
Hopefully
over it.
Sauron's not going to try and bring the mountain down. on us.
Karadros.
We must go through the mines.
We call it a mine.
We call it the.
Sorry, we are
mine.
goofing around too much, Jonathan. I am so sorry. I know how this
always-
is when
I-
people
I-
do
I
it to
do-
me. So I'm
Yes,
gonna shut the
I-
fuck up.
I have derailed a good many of your things as well. So it's a little bit of,
It's fine. Little payback.
yeah, a little
DM
bit back.
payback.
Listen,
I
you
got my
started it
last-
off with an actual call from Cthulhu, okay? So it's not my fault.
Very fair.
He called me on my cell phone.
Jesus Christ. Can you tell we
I
haven't
don't
played for a
want-
while?
Ufatog
that gone thing.
Cthulhu.
I haven't even started drinking yet.
exactly.
Okay. So
That's a good point.
the distance is approximately 1,000 miles or 1,600 kilometers from
Hot damn.
Dunhuang to from Xi'an to Dunhuang.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little bit too big of a map. Let's bring it down a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
Okay. So there's Xi'an,
Mhm.
and there's Dunhuang.
Yes.
Dunhuang. Yeah, here.
There we go.
Yeah. So
And here, we can see our road now.
There is a road.
indeed, there's a
Apparently.
road.
So you don't have to
And
go
I-
through the mountains. You can go around them.
Go around it.
You could go
Right,
around it.
Jinx.
Right here, we're kind of going through in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to
Mhm.
Suchao.
Yeah.
Now, Jonathan, I actually have an out-of-game question.
Of course.
Are the names of these towns and
Oh, the
cities,
Great Walls here.
are they the same? Let's fast forward, 100 years
Mhm.
to today. Are these the names of towns and cities that are still around, or did they change them because of the political upheaval in China since
So-
that time?
That's a really good question. These are the same towns and cities.
Cool.
Now, the only difference is during the Cultural Revolution, there was a change in how Chinese names were spelled in English.
Okay.
So we do not yet have the modern version of Pinyin or Pingyam if you're from the South.
Okay.
That helps break out the naming conventions.
Got it.
I don't remember the exact name of it, but like the way that these are spelled with like Su Chao or a lot of like apostrophes and stuff, like right here with Tian Shui.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen anymore when we spell Chinese names.
Got it.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, great question. These are all historical sites and cities along the route, along the Silk Road, actually, from
cool.
east to west.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow, it's right near
Very
the
cool.
Gobi Desert. Holy shit.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Right along the edge of it.
Yeah,
The Gobi's huge, man.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
I've seen pictures.
it's a big place. Now, you have a month, and on this month, we're going to be stopping briefly in all these different places, but you're going to have a whole lot of nothing to do.
Drink.
Yeah, you can drink, but if you're a let's see, I wouldn't say maybe if you're a driven and motivated and forward-thinking investigator, you might want to focus on some skills, pick up a book or two, do a couple extra push-ups in the morning. And so, one fun thing about Call of Cthulhu is you can do self-improvement. Now, we didn't get to do this at the end of the last In the Hereafter one-shot, so let's actually all go through our sheets first and roll to see if our skills that we had succeeded on actually managed to improve.
Oh,
Now,
right.
you're trying to not get under this current score you have.
Right.
You want to exceed
fail.
the current
You wanna
score.
fail
Right, because it would be harder if you have a higher score to get over that number.
to get better.
Yep.
No,
That
wait.
is
You want to fail or you want to exceed the score?
You want to
currently have?
exceed the
Exceeding
score.
your score is
Right.
failing.
So if I
Remember,
have,
That's
like,
failing.
say, a
Under.
50 and I get a 55,
Then
I
you
increase
have
by
increased
a
the
few
score.
points.
You increase
Yes.
by a D10.
D10, yeah.
Oh, a
That's
D10.
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, let's start from who's above me right now.
Who's above you in the overlay? That is
Okay, yeah,
Charles. That is Charles.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Charles. Now, why don't we see what has improved since your time in Xi'an?
Well, I have a few things from our last session. Fast talk is one. Brawl is marked off, as well as persuade and psychology.
Okay.
God, I only got
I was
one
also
thing.
hoping to increase a few skills by teaching. If we want to do that now, or do we want to wait?
We'll get to that
We'll get
after
to that. Great, perfect.
the sheet ones.
All right,
first.
I'm going to roll my fast talk first because it's the first one I hovered over.
All right.
All right, I rolled a 95.
Nice. You get
Very
your-
nice. So that improves.
Okay, let me roll my D10 then.
By the way, I'm just looking through the chat to see where the hell I actually
7.
succeeded.
Oh shit. Okay.
Nice.
How do
a
I increase it?
Go to
Oh,
edit
I have to
mode.
edit.
Yeah,
Edit.
if you go to
There we
edit
go.
mode, and then you can.
So
fix
plus
it.
7. So that's gonna be 72. Nice.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And then my next one. All right. So I'll unclick that one. Brawl is my next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hit 35 on the dot, and it is
Oh.
35. Does that mean I succeed? It says success.
It does. You did succeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
meets it, beats it. You have to fail it.
You have to fail it.
Oh, I have to fail it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to fail,
Oh, boo.
trying to
Okay.
roll over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
'Cause you learn
Boo.
through failure.
Before we
well.
lose the moment, Charles, you get any better at fast talking, you'll be an auctioneer.
This one. Do I hear five?
I
All right,
really can't believe it. I just checked, by the way. The only thing I succeeded
damn,
on
I-
the whole game was psychology. I have failed
my God.
every single roll
Wow.
in our one shot except for psychology.
It says I succeeded, but I rolled a 59 versus a 65
Yeah,
for
so
my
you
That's a
rolled
wait,
success.
So that
Yeah.
so that works. Okay.
But that
So
means
do-
you don't improve.
Right.
Oh, I
you-
don't
you
improve.
you're looking
Okay.
for that big
Trying
old
to
red
fail.
failure
Okay.
where it says
Come on,
failure.
psychology. Nope. Hard success
Nope.
on psychology. Nope. All right, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. So
Increased
next,
1.
Next up
Next is Eleanor,
Eleanor, that's right.
directly next to me.
My lovely wife.
am clicking on my character sheet. I'm using Safari.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Roll 20s. And
It at
playing.
least doesn't take up as much memory as Chrome does on her little.
Everything
machine.
takes up memory on Chrome. It's just the biggest memory
No,
hog on the
Chrome
planet.
takes up memory on everything, is what you mean.
Whatever. You know what I meant.
I did.
That's why you had to interpret what I said.
Just being clarifying. Being clarifying.
Being clarifying. I'm so glad. Are you having a stroke?
Clarificating.
No, I just went to the beer garden before this started.
That makes so much sense.
having extra fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to
Great.
get this to pop up. Please come back to me.
Okay.
If you like, Eleanor, I can actually look at it for you.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
please.
Look
That'd be
at
great.
that.
Of
I have
course.
a couple of skills that were
You do.
marked
Okay.
from last game.
Okay. First is praise.
There you go.
That improves.
Nice.
So roll that d10.
Okay. And it will
Is-
improve by 3.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Nice.
Next up is archaeology.
Archaeology.
Yes.
She's
Another
just getting
improvement.
all the improvements.
Aw.
I rolled
I mean,
bad,
she
so
is
she
our
could
lead
roll good.
academic.
7.
Damn! Damn! It's good.
Okay, so uncheck. And history is your last one.
Unbelievable.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Ew.
Getting the bad rolls out now.
Oh
7
my
again.
God.
Yes.
She has
There you go.
57.
nothing to
This
do.
is-
UGM.
This is what it means. She has nothing to do. She's just reading books. She's looking at shit along the road. That's basically
Why
it.
she
Teaching
has
her
doctor
husband
in
how to
front of her
shoot.
name.
Totally.
Alpha creative state
Drinking
of mind.
tea with her pinky out, just like.
Now, see, this is me getting out my bad rolls. So,
There you
I'm
go.
fair with that.
okay, so Eleanor, that is it for your default improvement after the in the hereafter. Let's move
Alright.
on to
I think I'm next.
Sofian.
Oh god. I only have one thing. I looked
Mhm.
through the whole goddamn chat log. Literally, the only thing besides like shooting things, which I don't think you can improve shooting.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Fire.
You can?
Absolutely, you can.
firearms.
Okay, well then why didn't I?
Depending on the firearm, if it's a
Yeah.
rifle, shotgun, and/or a handgun, or something else.
Well, why didn't I tell myself that?
I don't know.
All right, I have all I have is a handgun. So I did
Great.
actually make a couple shots with my handgun.
Mm-hmm.
That is handgun skill. So let me go ahead and
Yep.
I should have marked that off. but-
You're not gonna be as good as Timur, but you
what?
know
That's
fine.
because he's Russian. I mean,
Bro, he has like a 65. He's like a Wild West.
I have a
Watch
20.
out.
That's it.
Excuse
That's
me.
all I can do.
It's a wild East man.
That's mine. I have a 20, Matt.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Hey,
You gotta do
D10.
better with that pistol.
Mwah!
Very good.
Mwah! Now I'm up to
Waste
a
it
whopping
now,
30,
waste it now,
baby.
Matt. Waste
Beautiful.
it now.
Whopping 30. Yeah, I can hit things better. Take out that
Okay,
dot.
Yeah, you-
okay.
Aim for the head, bruh.
Mhm.
Aim
And
for
now
the head
I
and
will-
hit the arm. Okay, and then last but not least is psychology.
Mhm.
I've got a 60 in psychology, so chances are I may actually succeed here. So we'll see.
We'll see.
No! You're welcome. I took all the
The only
succeeds
time
for
in the game
everybody.
that we're gonna cheer for failing.
Yep. Here we go.
Mhm.
D10. Ugh!
Nice.
8.
Nice.
Not bad.
Good.
Not bad. I was hoping for a 9,
68.
but I'm all right.
Yeah,
I'm-
don't.
I was hoping
don't.
for a 9. You know what I mean? I was hoping for a 9.
Nice.
I think a certain psychology person has something to say about that.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
I didn't mean to do that. I don't. I had to edit mode. Yeah, I think.
Yep, all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
68. Fuck.
Very good.
That's it for me.
Not quite
All right.
nice.
Not quite. I tried, and I
Miss-
was like, "Fuck! I'm sorry. I can't do it." And that's
Next, Miss Chang.
All right, I've got quite a few actually. So we're gonna start with dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yodge.
Damn
it.
Aw.
All right, how about brawl?
Yay!
Yeah. You did 2.
Aw.
That's
Okay.
2 is better than
Well done.
0.
You guys took all the good dice. I don't think you can. Is that
I
against-
know.
Yeah, Matt took all the good dice.
Sorry.
It's okay. I
This is
forgive you.
7s and 10s.
All right, let me take those check marks off too.
So
these.
greedy, Matt.
And then library use.
Oh.
Damn it.
She has a
I didn't think I
70.
was gonna fail that.
70?
Yeah,
I'm a linguist.
she reads. She reads a
I read a
lot.
lot.
There's nothing she hasn't
That
read.
Dewey Decimal
Persuade?
has nothing on her.
Okay.
Yay!
Damn.
Oh, that was weird.
John, can I assume that I gained back
Oh
any
my
hit
God, what
points
did
that I
this
did
do?
not have?
Yes, you can
great,
gain those
thank
back.
But not your sanity, motherfucker.
Mhm.
No, that's fine.
Okay, that was. I tried to do the up arrow and it did not work. It put a whole bunch of crap.
Oh
in it.
yeah, don't do that.
There we
Hey,
go.
there's your
Hey.
10. That's nice.
Better. So plus 10 on my persuade.
And there was
Dope.
much rejoicing.
Yay.
Psychology.
Mhm.
There we
Okay.
go.
Nice.
Wow,
Okay.
Well, she has a
Nice.
10.
dangerous-
Yep.
Dangerously close to succeeding, and now.
Dose.
Aw.
12.
12.
All right.
Tom Brady's number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh,
6,
damn it,
7,
can I have an
8,
extra
9,
die?
10, 11, 12.
And finally,
If-
spot hidden. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna have to do that.
Damn.
That's
Jesus.
a very high spot hidden.
Yeah, I have a
Jesus.
very high spot hidden. I think that is in fact my best skill.
All
All
right.
that
Very
is-
observant.
I'm very observant and good with books. That is it for me.
Very nice. And finally, Timur.
Okay. First, I'm gonna do a handgun. Because I was shooting statues last time.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go.
Wow.
65. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Damn.
Next.
Oh.
66.
6.
Less impressive.
Whatever.
Only slightly.
Let's see. Intimidate.
Oh.
Let's see. Psychology.
Damn it.
What?
Yeah, well, you
Unfortunate.
He had a 60.
Last but not least, throwing.
Hey, you can throw
Hey.
better.
there you go. Nice.
He can
Nice.
throw. He can throw really well. Like we could stop along the side of the road, and Timur's like, "I need to know how to throw this ball."
I need to huck. One moment. I huck.
Who did you throw a
Alright.
ball with, Timur? That's what I want to know.
I think it was like
Myself.
a cabbage or something like that.
You threw a cabbage? Of course you threw a cabbage.
Yeah,
My
Timur did,
cabbages.
Timur did throw a cabbage.
He did actually throw a cabbage.
He did throw a cabbage.
You
I
know,
remember.
if I had a
Same
nickel for
thing.
every time someone took that fucking cabbage thing and put it into their role-playing game, I'd have at least 2 nickels.
Well,
Mm.
I'll
That
be
could buy
sure
you a
to get-
cabbage.
Yeah.
Now, how the
Yeah.
heck do I
Not in
change?
this
Hit the
account.
edit mode button in
Maybe
the top
not
right-hand
here.
corner of your character sheet there, Talon. And then you can change
Okay.
each. Once you do that, you
It
can
could buy you a
change
bunch
the
of cabbages
skills.
in 1920s China, though.
Okay,
What?
so
Tyron, you look confused. You hit the little edit button. on
I
top.
did, but
Cool. Then
but, like-
scroll down to your skills,
where's the skills?
and just where it says skills.
Where you were rolling them.
I don't see the skills.
Oh my God! You can't see the skills.
let
What
me
do you
help
see
you.
instead?
You
I
clicked
see.
on settings.
Oh, you're on the wrong tab. That's why.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm on the character sheet. I see the edit button.
Good.
Okay,
Go
click
all the
edit
way-
already.
Click-
It's off.
Yeah, but all I see is my token,
Oh,
my.
click it on. Edit. I got you. I got you.
Here you go.
Thank you, Keeper. You
Yeah.
saved
You
us.
clicked over. You see where you're at settings. You got to scroll all the way back to skills, right under intelligence, and click on that. It'll bring them back up again.
Okay, so you increase
6.
handgun by 1, right?
Yeah, 66.
And increase throw by.
to 41.
Okay.
I'm going to grab a glass of scotch since this game precipitates
Ooh,
my need for it.
Scotchy, scotch, scotch,
I'm
scotch,
going to
scotch,
do
scotch.
something
Down it goes,
very
down to my
similar.
belly.
There it is. I love how throw is under survival.
I
That's great.
mean,
Why?
yeah. I mean, if it's the difference between you throwing someone off a cliff and death.
Or throwing cabbages.
My cabbages.
Okay, I will let them come back first, and then we can talk about improvements.
Acquired skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Vanessa, I would suggest if you're having an issue,
I
Like a
am
bit-
experiencing technical difficulties. And I'm stuck on my desktop.
Oh.
well, you're coming through on stream and on Discord and your camera, so I'm assuming it's a browser issue. So
It won't let me toggle any of my applications open. But everything's still running, which is good.
Your computer hasn't blown up?
No,
It
But
hasn't yet.
can't
like-
see anything.
It's frozen.
Shoot. It's okay.
Just-
Theater of the mind. Do you have physical
Yes.
dice? That's all we
John,
need.
Can you give me control of her character sheet? I can do that for her.
Either that
Yeah.
or I could restart.
Yes, you could.
You could.
I'll
Or-
pass it over to you, Chris. And
Okay. Because I can pop it out, and I have a second monitor, so I can run her sheet over here.
Okay.
And Vanessa, I will not do anything unless you tell me to do it.
We just want to see you,
Sounds
actually,
good.
Vanessa. Honestly, that's just
I
half of
got
it
it.
right there. Honestly, I just want to
Okay.
just want to see you. Just want to see your face.
Okay, I have your
see
sheet,
you and hear
sweetie.
you.
So on your turns, you tell me what you want me to do, or I can give you suggestions of what to do, that your skills that you are good at. Okay.
and
Sounds
does Discord work
Okay.
for you right now? Can you receive like messages?
I cannot open any applications even if they're already
Oh,
active.
how about your phone?
Yeah.
Yes,
ha-
my phone works.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I'm
then,
gonna send you this map right now.
Your whole computer
Okay.
is being a pain in the ass right now.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
taking a big
it
old
is
dump.
ancient.
At
I
the-
received this file.
at the break, we'll
Okay.
we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I
Sounds
figured.
good. Thanks for the
Okay.
map.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so
It's
I
like
love the didgeridoo right
it's like play by text, guys. This is
Yeah.
this is like
Love
real
it.
hardcore mud shit right now. This is great.
we're throwing it
now. Was this
back.
Dragon? What is it? What was that game?
Rogue,
Mm.
No.
Dragon's Lair. What the fuck are you talking?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
About? Okay, sorry.
so
Anyway.
Excuse me.
as it takes approximately a month to reach Dunhuang from Xi'an, every day you're going to be traveling around 15 miles or so, which is around a day's march or a ride. And when you decide to bed down for the night, it's a little bit dangerous to do so out in the wild. Not only there are animals and the like, and also the elements, but there may also be bandits. So, if you don't want to have to deal with all that, well, you're in luck. The government has set up these places called kungquans, which are essentially rest houses. It's a walled-off little settlement with these ranges of buildings that are surrounding a courtyard. Two of them are guest rooms, and it's just one room after another. And each of these have a stove bed, which is a very cool invention where it's a bed, and underneath there's a little oven area, and outside there's a hatch for a porter to shovel coal underneath. And it keeps your
Warm.
bed warm at night.
I
Sounds
love
cozy.
Cool.
That actually sounds great. Like I would
I
like that
want that.
now, please.
Yeah. And it's very great because it gets cold.
Shit.
Another of the ranges of buildings are for stables for your horses and mules and such. And finally, the last group of buildings is the kitchens, a refectory which is your communal cafeteria, and the innkeeper's lodgings. Now, this sounds great, at least it could be cozy. Unfortunately, these are historically known to be filthy places to stay and get very noisy, as there are tons of people passing through these every night after night. And you got people who are just shouting all sorts of orders back and forth, and then cooks will shout when the food is ready and stuff. In fact, it's actually written in the book, if it were not for the stone walls around the Kunghuan, you would probably find it more comfortable to sleep outside.
Great.
And
Stuff caught in my ears.
at a rate of 30 miles a day, and it takes you a month, you're going to be stopping at 30 of these.
30 Kunquangs. Great.
Yep.
Do they have like a rating system? Is there like a Yelp for Kunquans or something like that? Like this one has 5
Put
stars.
stars in your journal.
Yeah.
What do we
Kung
have to
Plus?
roll to not get bed bugs?
My Kung Kwam?
I say, what's on the character sheet?
Kung Kwam Live?
You can roll. Isn't there
You can
like
come
a
now.
luck roll? Okay, we're gonna stop that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna say that you managed to deftly dodge the bed bugs, Mrs. Chang.
Nice.
Oh
Thank you.
no.
The rest of we will hand wave the
I'm getting
existence
bit.
of bed bugs and lice.
Oh,
Well,
thank you.
Fleas.
I'm gonna throw a
Yeah.
red card, X card, whatever
Yeah.
kind of card. I don't want.
Okay.
No,
Sweet
no mention of the
mercies.
BBs.
I'm over here getting massacred by this rogue mosquito that I can't catch.
Oh,
so
you mean the
that's
cat that you
great.
have in your lap? I thought.
Oh
you...
no, this
Okay.
he's not massacring me. He's
Hello.
God.
It's your mosquito guard.
Yeah, go eat some
Bug
bugs.
killer.
You gotta train your
Thank
cat
you.
to like, eat all the bugs.
That
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's Brutus cat, right?
There are
Yeah.
probably cats in the Dunhuang.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But
we definitely
what's
hang out with them.
More
Ray
importantly,
is petting them.
it also gives you a place to maybe sit down and have a table and like at least have somewhere to work, because there's also a active self-improvement that investigators can take part in. And so you may attempt to learn a new skill,
Ooh.
improve a skill by 2d4, or improve 2 skills by 1d4 each. Well, technically, the new skill is 1d10 plus 1. So let's start with Charles, who I believe is right up here. And another thing to note is that if you have additional materials or an expert to help you with such thing, it can affect how well you're able to.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean on my experts. Charles is going to allow his wife to teach him how to shoot better, because she is
Mhm.
one heck of a shot.
Rifle.
Rifle,
particular.
specifically rifle/shotgun, so like a long range weapon. And he's going to utilize Mei's amazing Tai Chi technique for dodging. And he'd love to increase both of those skills.
What is Eleanor's firearms for rifles? 55. Pretty good.
55, yeah.
Okay, I will let you have one bonus die, but you have to apply to one of those 2 skills. You
One
cannot
of the
have
two?
Yeah.
Let's flip a coin, John.
Yeah, go for it. I don't carry change.
Okay, hang on.
What are coins?
Hang on.
You can do roll 1d2.
You can roll 1d2.
Yeah.
And
Hey
then-
Siri, flip a coin.
Oh, that works too.
Or that. Where you go?
Okay. She said heads, which that's just gonna be the first one I see, which is shotgun rifle.
All right.
Okay, shotgun rifle.
So in order to improve, go ahead and make me a POW check.
Oh, damn.
Extreme success.
Nice.
Very nice. In that case, yeah, you can't get better than that. You may increase.
I rolled a 2, John.
Yeah, you can't get better than that. Increase that skill by 1d4.
Not bad.
1d4, huh?
Mm-hmm.
3. Okay.
Okay. And you may increase your other skill also by 1d4 to dodge.
Woo! Nice. Okay. The same score, or roll again.
Roll again.
2.
Very good. Okay. So,
Got it. It's
Charles, do you spend dedicated time during this trip with your wife, who teaches you how to shoot in a quite fun flip of the trope where the male protagonist or male character is teaching the female character how to shoot? It's
Yep.
the other way around.
Love it.
My beautiful archaeologist shooter wife. I love it.
Can I say something? I think it's hilarious that she also teaches you how to dodge. So she's probably
I
like
teach them
grabs.
how to dodge.
Mm.
Oh, you teach him how to dodge. So Eleanor
May
like probably
does.
like she's like, okay, now it's my turn, and she takes the gun. And she's like, shh, and she's like, dodge, Charles. He's like, fuck.
Oh hell no!
Practice what May taught you.
I love
Jesus,
how,
honey, I knew you were serious, but come on now.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a. Oh, maybe not.
More like a bullet.
I love how this is going from Call of Cthulhu to Email of Matrix.
Yes.
All right. Next is Eleanor.
Great. I would like to study under Charles for some charms lessons.
So just one skill you want to improve.
Charles, what is your charm at?
55.
Well, hate to say it, my old boy, but I do have a bit of an advantage on you on there. I have 65, Jar.
Well, I look at my wife and go, Eleanor, it's not what I can do for you, but what he can teach you.
Sofian
my friend.
slicks back his hair. He's like, I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to overcome you, Charles. Just saying.
But you must recognize expertise.
Oh, well.
I
Comes with the
understand
territory.
that you are more acquainted to this task, so I give this to you to teach my lovely wife.
Pish posh, Charles. Pish posh.
Oh, Sofian, please teach me some charm lessons, a la Eliza Doolittle.
And I will say,
Damn.
I will say that a Kung Quan is probably a great place to just try charm at, just to see if you can get people to talk after a long day of traveling and a rowdy food service.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Eleanor, or rather, Chris, if you don't mind, since you have access to the sheet.
Oh, yep, got it.
Let's get a power roll for Eleanor. Oof. Unfortunately, the combination of the rigorous travel, teaching Charles how to shoot, and just the chaotic noise of the Kung Kwans, and just how utterly rugged and uninterested the travelers are in talking. It's very hard to have a conversation when everyone's just shouting orders and more interested in getting food into their stomachs and then heading to bed.
I say, Eleanor, the rain in Spain.
It
Falls
seems
mainly on the...
like we're going to have to resume this lesson later.
Bagarito. Well, we'll do what we can.
Thank you for your time.
No worries.
All right. Moving on, Sofian.
Yeah,
what would you like to improve during this trip?
The things that I failed at, I would think, are probably the best things that I could possibly think to do. Where are we losing? Where do we not have, like, a decent... I feel like this trip is going to need probably some, like, mechanical repair. Like, if the car breaks down, we don't... Does anybody know how to fix a car?
Or if a gun gets
Yeah.
clogged or something.
Does anybody have decent mechanical repair?
No.
I got 10.
Yeah, so do
I
I.
also have 10.
So I feel like it's either drive or mechanical repair that I should up. Does anybody do well at driving?
So, I actually want to stop you right there. As given the state of your travel on horseback or on the back of a cart, I don't think you can learn drive auto or work on drive
Okay,
auto.
I thought that we were in a car. My bad.
Yeah, you are currently in a caravan of like a horse or a mule
Mule
All
caravan.
right. Then you know what? How about this? Just because we're getting close to the Gobi Desert, and I feel like maybe we may be going anywhere near it, I'm gonna try for a couple things. I'm gonna try for archaeology, since it's just a 1.
All right.
I don't know shit. And then the other is going to be survival desert.
All right. So those are the 2 skills you wish to work on. You can
Yeah.
absolutely do that.
Yeah.
We will, in that case, go ahead and make a PAL roll.
Pow. Pow, 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 pow.
See survival on my sheet.
Yeah, if you scroll down past sciences, there's a survival section.
Only some people have survival desert.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
damn. Okay, here we go. Pow, 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 pow.
There it
That's a
is.
success.
Nice.
37. So, Sofian, go ahead and increase both of those skills by 1d4.
Solid. Okay.
Aw.
Yeah, 1 is better than nothing. All
Okay.
right, so now I have
If
a
you
2. I have a 2 in archaeology, and I have a...
You can roll. I'll let you roll a separate d4 for a desert.
Oh, that's so kind. I appreciate that. Okay.
Nice.
Hey.
There we go. Cool. So I have a 34 in survival of desert and a 2,
nice.
whopping 2 in archaeology. That's
Very
it for me.
nice. Moving on then. Miss Chang.
Well, I purchased some books at our
Mhm.
last stop, and being that I am a linguist, and in addition to having Mr. Repin in our party, I do believe that we are going to encounter further Russian-speaking individuals. I am learning a new skill. I am learning language Russian.
All right. And given you have a native Russian speaker, as well as reading materials, I will give you a bonus die on your power roll.
Nice.
Nice. So, power.
Oh.
How do I get a bonus die?
Try clicking bonus penalty.
9.
So that's
now
a
it's
90. Becomes a 90. It's still a.
Wait, what? Oh, that's what bonus die means?
So
Yeah, changes the
it rolled-
tens digit.
Yeah, so it rolled actually not a 9, but a... Oh, I see. So
It changes the
rolled 10
tens
and-
digit. Yeah.
Right, but if you hover over, it's a 1d10 minus 1, so you get 0
Yeah.
to 9.
Yeah. You can't get
Okay.
You can't get
Okay.
100.
Oh, so it changes the tens digit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let me check my own refresher if you can add luck to this.
Ooh.
Because I would allow you to add luck.
I would use luck points to get my Russian language proficiency.
You know what?
here.
I will say you can use luck.
If I only need to use
Ooh.
2 luck points to do that, I will absolutely do that.
Remind us, Jonathan, is there a limit to the use of luck? I know some keepers allow you to only use a maximum of 10 points of luck, but some people are just like, fuck it, use as many as you like.
I mean, if you want to pour all your luck into something, by all means.
Solid.
All right. So, so this is a new skill. What do I roll to see how much Russian I learn?
You roll 1d10 plus 1.
Can I say something, guys? I'm so happy to be playing this game again. I'm so happy to be playing Call of Cthulhu
Yes,
again.
there we
Yes.
go. That
It just
was
brings back
amazing.
so many fond memories, and I'm just happy to be playing this.
Yeah, it's great.
So let me languages add Russian. I have an 11.
Wonderful. So yeah, you begin to pick up some beginning Russian. You're getting the hang of it, and definitely your previous experiences with language help you with understanding how Russian works. I believe Russian works on Cyrillic.
Yes, Cyrillic,
Yes, it uses
Cyrillic
the
alphabet.
Yes.
I now currently have in my language belt Chinese, Sanskrit, Tibetan, English, Japanese, and Russian.
Damn.
That is
Very
incredible.
impressive.
Are a cunning linguist.
I am a smart cookie.
Yes, you are. All right. Very good. Very good. And finally, Timur.
Given our environment and whatnot in this nation, I figured maybe learning some more Chinese would probably benefit me.
Of course. You have plenty
I
of
am
people to help
here
you out
teach.
here. And
May is pretty good at that.
is language Chinese the only skill you wish to improve?
Well, I was also thinking of trying to improve on dodging as well.
Okay. It's up to you if you want to do one skill or two, but it's going to require a POW check.
That was something I'm learning too, so yeah.
All right.
POW. Ooh.
Hard success. Very
Okay.
good. In that case, go ahead and increase both of those by 1d4.
Okay, for the Chinese, it's gonna be... Okay. And then for the dodging, a 3.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay.
I
So
will be
question actually about
right back.
luck. Do we get to roll to regain luck after the last adventure as well?
That's a good question. I don't actually remember the rules about that.
I think it works the same way as skills. You make a luck roll, and if you fail, you get to do a d10.
You know what?
think- I'm pretty
I'm
sure
gonna
it's
take-
the same rules.
I will take your word for it. Let me actually look at the compendium. Well, Matt is stepping away.
Because I looked at it like that was what Reddit told me, but you know, they could be wrong.
It could be.
I'll be right back for a second.
Sure. Oh, I see.
Ah.
Cool. I get it. They roll a D100. If they go above their present luck, they get a D10 of luck
Yeah.
points.
So same rules that we just
Yeah.
did, basically.
Cool. In that case, who's here right now? Charles, how about you? Actually, no, wait. Let's go. Let's start from the other direction.
There.
Timur, how about we see if you increase your luck?
Oh, my looking.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I roll for that?
Just
luck?
press your luck.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Yeah.
Nice. Roll a D10 and add it to your luck.
Nice. He doesn't get automatic 10 for that roll? Come on.
All right, so 6. You have 41 luck now. Very nice. Chang Mei, how about you?
All right. Damn it!
Unfortunate.
I can't use luck to improve my luck. That would be counterproductive.
That would be
so-
counterproductive. You start bending space-time here.
That's
Charles, we'll jump
All
over
right.
to you and then hit the rest when they get here.
right. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. You could use the luck boost.
What am I rolling? A D10?
1d10.
Hey.
Nice.
Oops, sorry. That's supposed to be in edit.
All good. You
I can roll
for Eleanor as well,
for
yeah.
Eleanor. Yeah,
Okay.
all right. 350.
3.
Nice.
Okay. And Sofian when he returns. So yeah. I think once that's done, we can talk about the journey. It's a very interesting journey.
Nice.
Love it. I love this little world. It makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. This is this whole part of the adventure is extremely fascinating because it's very historical. Actually,
Okay, it's a big Chinese history lesson. I love it.
it is a very big Chinese history lesson, and
I'm
We as
very
Americans
excited.
don't get a lot of. So
now it's a lot of people don't realize how much actually went down in this region in terms of archaeology.
mm-hmm.
I think some people, so like I think some backstories there's mention of Sir Mark R.L. Stein, who is known for
R.L. Stein, the guy who wrote children's horror books.
unfortunately not. But Sir Mark R.L. Stein, R.L. spelled A-U-R-E-L, he actually made his way around in this area and pulled many Buddhist texts and brought them back for quote-unquote safekeeping.
Was he British?
You bet. I
Yeah.
believe he was British. Can actually-
Must protect them for the betterment of the empire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was British. There was also Paul Pelliot from France. And even the Japanese got in here with Count Otani's Japanese Pilgrims. And-
That must be who I learned Japanese from.
And Sergei Oldenburg of Russia.
Hmm.
Yeah. So a great many people were involved. And Sir Stein, Mark R.L. Stein, I think was also rumored to be involved in the Great Game that was going on in terms of like territories and whatnot. And there's a whole thing about like influence and all that.
Cool.
Yeah, just going to oh, there he is. Okay.
Hey,
So,
headphones coming.
Sofian?
Now he
There.
can hear you.
Hello. Okay. Hi.
Matt,
You
you're
are
muted.
currently muted still.
I'm back.
Hello.
Hey!
Sorry about that.
It's all good. You can make it up by please rolling your luck to see if it improves.
Oh, thank God. I need to know. Boop. Please, please, I need it.
It does.
Thank God.
Succeed.
Oh, that's
Same
right.
rules.
Oh, thank God. Failures mean successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point
Go
in the
ahead
game,
and
yes.
yes.
Man, we
Go
must
ahead
have
and
used a
roll.
lot of luck in the last game.
Oh yeah.
What do I
There
roll?
was
D10?
D10.
Yes.
Solid. Give me some.
Ouch.
Hey, it's better than I got nothing, so you still got more luck back than I did.
All right. Well, my sanity is back to Oh, sorry, my luck. Sorry, is at
Yes.
31.
If your sanity is at 29, so
No, my sanity is at 49. My sanity is at 49.
We'd be
Oof.
concerned.
Ooh.
I have been, and that's actually only 1 point down from my maximum. My sanity is at 50.
Oh my
so.
goodness, you
Hey,
did not have a good sanity.
some people have seen some shit in their life.
That's fair.
You know?
All right, now we can actually begin what this journey is through the Kansu corridor.
All right.
Mihu's caravan, I keep saying cavern, takes you through this route. First through Paoqi, to Tianshui, to Tingxi, all the way to Lanzhou. Now, Lanzhou is a Silk Road town, and in fact, during this time, had a decently sized Russian population. It is also said that Lanzhou was the center of Soviet influence during this point in time in history on China. As we would learn later on in history, there's a very deep connection between Soviet Russia and Communist China. But for now, it is a lovely town on the Silk Road. Now, a little bit outside of Lanzhou, you see that the fertile fields give way to steep canyons, and you know that as you travel on, you eventually hit the Excellent Valley Pass, which is also called the Gate of Demons.
Oh my.
And the westernmost of these gates is called the Gate of Sighs. Noted British missionary Mildred Gable was also on this road at some point, traveling up and down, spreading the word of God. And as this pass was once the edge of the empire, that one of many of China's, or even the Tibetan Empire, the gate is covered in all sorts of ancient graffiti scrawled by those exiled beyond the borders of their homeland, never to return, or new travelers looking for wherever their feet may take them. Now, if I may have a brave volunteer, please make me a POW or spot hidden roll.
I would like to make a spot hidden roll.
I volunteer her as tribute.
Okay,
Alrighty.
go for it.
Success.
Okay. Perhaps why, Miss Chang, you're so adept at teaching the art of dodging
Oh no.
to your traveling companions is that for some reason there always almost feels like this constant presence of just something over your shoulder. It's always out of sight as soon as you look over and there's just nothing there. And it happens once every so often, but as you start approaching and going on the road, it happens more and more. You also get the sense that something is about to happen. You ever get that feeling that, like, you know that something is about to occur? Like, in this case, maybe a thunderstorm is about to come, and yet it's a clear sky. Or someone who's been holding like a breath for a really long time and is just about to let it out. Now, as this is on your mind, passing out of the town or city of Lanzhou, you notice that there is a group of Chinese soldiers who have set up a little bit of a station on this part of the road.
I sort of scoot closer to Dr. Lockwood and say, Doctor, I've got a very strange feeling about this.
What do you mean?
I can't quite put my finger on it, but something doesn't sit right.
In
I
this town or for our journey?
Just here and right now, and I sort of look over the sort of station of Chinese soldiers and say, maybe with them? I don't know. It's stupid. Never mind.
No, Miss Chang, your intuitions are always spot on. Maybe we should tell our fellow travelers that we ought to be alert.
I think that might be in our best interest, yes.
And elbow Charles.
What?
Keep an eye out. Pass it on.
For what exactly, my darling?
For
Am I-
anything.
How many soldiers are there?
Right.
How many soldiers are there?
There's around a dozen.
Oh boy.
And it's not just you on the road, actually. You see that around half of them are, like around six or seven of them are on the road itself, just sort of like watching over it. They've got like this small barricade gate, and he's just kind of like leaning on it. One's got like just chewing on some grass. You see a couple of others, two or three more, actually speaking with another group of travelers. They don't seem Chinese, the travelers. They seem actually just in rags and have several bags and satchels on them. And it seems to be these two soldiers are talking with another gentleman, but it's kind of hard to see what's going on there. One of the soldiers sort of raised up a hand and says, Light, stop! And the caravan pulls to a halt. Mi Hu just says, "Hey, what's the matter? Why are we stopped?" In which the soldier replies, "To travel these roads, you need papers. Papers?"
I hand him over my diplomat's badge or whatever.
We
A
had
blast
arranged
map.
travel with
Yeah.
this man and his son, right? So
Yes.
we do
Yeah.
have,
We have papers.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
have-
have papers.
You do have papers, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mihu just says, yes, we have papers, and just reaches in satchel and hands it to the soldier, and you just see the soldier looking at it, and he's just like going, okay, and he's just like reading through it, and like it's a couple papers, but like, given that a bunch of you are familiar with office work and like paperwork and stuff, this man is taking way longer than he should for reading a couple papers.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and fast talk him and ask him, does there seem to be a problem?
Sure, go for it.
Nice.
So you, Charles, ask him, does it seem to be a problem? And he looks at you and he sees the diplomat's badge that you have also taken out with the papers. And he just looks at you and says, No. By all means, we have to be very careful about who's traveling these roads. Folds it up, hands it back.
Thank you for your time, of course. So you have to do your due diligence, of course. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
sort of address him and I ask him in Chinese, but without making direct eye contact, kind of glancing demurely at the ground. Do we need to be worried about traveling on this road?
He says, yes, you should. There's supposedly bandits out. We have to keep an eye for those. And also, there may even be runaway soldiers from
Deserters, I say in Chinese.
deserters are some. There are individuals who do not like orders from the king. And also from further west. And he sort of like you notice that he kind of like can't help glancing over to the group, and as you look closer, these appear to be European. Namely, they seem to be a group of Russian refugees. And you see that there's one individual who is animatedly talking in Chinese, and he also appears Russian. He's a younger man, and you notice that he's got like he's got like he's holding his hand, and he's also just like around his stomach area, and he's just sort of like talking and stuff like that. And this you hear what the soldier over there, and he's raised his voice at the point as you're passing. He says, you have to have papers in order to be traveling here, otherwise we'll have to take a toll. This is not cheap to run your protection for these people. And he just says, and in Chinese he replies, they are refugees. They are trying to find a home, trying to find safety. Please, you must let them go.
I quickly say in Chinese to the guy that's kind of talking over us. I just say, how much is the toll?
He looks at you and just says, let me look at my conversion rates again. Apologize. Because I have that written down.
I was going to
The
ask
numbers.
how well is this Russian man speaking Chinese? Is it good?
Let's see. He's quite good. He's quite fluent in Chinese. So the soldier says 10 silver dollars.
What
much
does
is
that
that?
equal in American?
That is 5 US.
I look at him, I say, that's a steep tax. I say it in Chinese.
He replies, and this is a dangerous job.
I'll give him $5.
How much is that in like modern?
Or no, sorry. It's so how much was it? It was
So it's 10 silver dollars, so 5 US.
yeah. I'll give him $5.
Yeah, he takes it and he goes over to the other soldier who was talking with the Russian gentleman, and they just sort of like murmur a bit and just says, you hear him go, "Go!" And they just walk off, and you notice the group of Russian refugees continue along their way, just sort of like huddling.
Do they look at me at any point?
They do sort of look at you, and one of them just waves at you, and
I tip my cap and just wish, and that's it. I don't give them
$7.
anything else.
Jeez. Not too
Yeah.
bad.
I do say quietly to the gentleman who was doing most of the talking, in broken Russian, your Chinese is very good.
Which he responds in Chinese. You speak in Russian, right?
Yes.
He responds in Russian. Your Russian is not bad.
May laughs because she knows that it is.
And he sort of jogs up towards the caravan and says, "Thank you for helping out there. The soldiers are a bigger pain in the ass than usual."
Why are they? I come over to. Is he speaking English now or no?
He addresses you all in English.
I come over to him and I say, "Apologies, my friend. Why were they so interested in you?"
You know how how soldiers can be. They are they are bullies. They like to prey on easy targets.
I know my way around bullies, that's for sure. But why you?
Well, I was the only one who was able to speak up to them. They are not used to Russians who can talk back,
Yes, we have
especially in their own tongue.
We have a Russian amongst us who prefers to keep quiet. He sort of looks over at Timur.
Most times. But he's good in a fight.
What is your name?
Apologies. And as you're sort of close to him, you notice that while he's gesturing with his left hand, you see that his right hand is just this mangled mess of like a palm, a back of a hand, and like fingers.
Ugh.
And he introduced himself. Where is my handout? There is my handout.
That's a funny term for this guy.
Is his English also is his English also excellent?
Set
actually-
it up,
it's-
John. I'm
it's-
sorry.
His English is quite good too. He says, "My name is Dimyan Babanin."
Would you say he has hands-on experience?
He only had one hand. He's like, I too used to know how to deal with bullies, and then bully took my hand from me.
Demyan Ilarevich Babanin.
Whoa.
He's he's also a handsome man. Why are all these people? Why
Very
are all
angular.
these people more
Because
handsome?
it is fantasy. game.
Mhm.
Stop being more
'Cause
handsome.
everyone's hot in a fantasy game. Is that what
Why?
you're saying?
I wish to have
Everyone
fewer.
is either very hot or very ugly. I feel like there is no average.
There's no average. Why
There's
does
no in between.
no one has a 10?
Oh, either you're a 10 or a 1. That's it.
Yeah, it's a coin flip, not a die roll.
Yeah.
Alright.
What would I need to roll to figure out if my strange feeling has to do with this guy?
Ooh. That's a good question. Let me look at what skills there are.
I mean, it might even just be like a POW check. I'm not
I-
sure.
You know what? I like that. I like
Yeah.
a POW check. Let's get a POW check.
All right.
Pow.
Hard success.
Dope.
59. You're looking at this at Demyan and doesn't seem like it.
Okay, good. Because May likes him.
Look over at his
Right.
hand and say, "Apologies for the forward speech, my friend, but your hand. Are you all right?"
Don't worry about it. I've gotten used to this predicament. It's a reminder of why I'm here, not back in Russia.
Oh,
Is he actually being truthful about that?
Go ahead and roll me a psychology.
Psychology. Ooh.
Nice.
He appears to be truthful.
Remember to track your successes, y'all.
heck yeah!
I am.
Oh shit, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
He does seem to like rub his hand tenderly.
Hi, kitty.
I say, well, what are you doing here? What are you doing in this part of the country?
Well, I myself am rather fluent with this the native language here, and I'm understanding that there are others of my kin who are passing through this corridor. In exchange for company and the opportunity to record their stories, I offer my translation and liaison services.
I see. So you're a collector of stories, then?
In a sense, yes.
So you're traversing the landscape of China in search for stories that are interesting and well worth your time, yes?
Indeed.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, this nation does have its interesting set of arts and history and so forth.
Oh, absolutely, Timur. You couldn't be more correct. I myself have... No, after you, Timur. I apologize.
I was about to say I learned from the best.
I know. And I would say that if you are interested in traversing, perhaps, with us, if you have the will and the time, we would be more than happy to bring you on an adventure that I think you might feel would be worth chronicling.
Demyan gives you a long look, sort of like studying you, and looks across each one of you and sort of scratches his chin with his left hand. I would be honored if you would have me in your caravan and as a traveling companion. You all seem very, very interesting and if you don't mind, a motley crew.
May bristles a little bit at being called motley. She kind of smooths down her traveling clothes and sits up a little straighter.
We certainly have differing interests. And what brings you on this road?
As I said, the stories of my fellow countrymen who are coming through these parts, and when I can, taking a look at the historical sites along the Silk Road. I heard that there's a cave of Buddhas up in Dunhuang, correct?
That is correct. That is where we are headed at this time. To, on a sightseeing expedition. Yes.
I see.
It certainly is quite the trek to get there, though.
That is true, Timur. You are absolutely correct. But the journey, Timur, that is worth it. The destination is nothing. It is the journey.
Oh, but the destination is quite special.
Oh,
I
for certain.
May sort of looks up at Sofian and says, I would not call the Cave of 1,000 Buddhas nothing.
Indeed.
I apologize for inciting a riot. He smiles. You are correct. You are correct.
Well, in that case, you'll find me a agreeable traveling companion, and I am used to traversing these parts, and I would be happy to join you on your journey.
What skills, besides, of course, chronicling the adventures of those within these lands, what skills, perhaps, would you say that you may have?
I'm familiar with the terrain and the wildlife here. I'm used to surviving out on my own, in fact. I don't manage to find a group of refugees or traveling caravan so often.
So a survivalist.
In a sort.
I crack all my fingers.
In a sort, when it's necessary. And I'm skilled with language. I don't have a right hook anymore, but I still got a mean left. And
Are you a good shot?
I do my best.
May
And-
asks him in Tibetan, and what other languages do you speak?
He looks at you for a moment and says, I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure of learning Tibetan.
But you recognized it. Good for you.
And
I'm-
have you traveled this road before?
Yes, I have traveled this a couple times. I'm honestly surprised that these soldiers have not recognized me. They may be from a new clique. It is a lonely road that I travel, and I sometimes walk alone.
And you may find yourselves a companion with us, please. And I sort of gesture him to the cart, I guess, that we share.
Of course. And he shoulders his bag and hops onto the cart. And I believe, May, you asked what languages he knows. Along the travel, you learn that he is, of course, fluent in Russian, Chinese, English, and French.
Very good.
Let me check my
Good, I
character
got
sheet.
3
Mad.
languages. I feel a little better.
Okay, so...
Feeling ever so slightly less challenged, she will practice her Russian with him.
And you find that Demyan is has very interesting repositories, like stories and different ideas. He's very well spoken and written in Russian.
Well versed.
Well versed, thank you. So, Demyan has joined the party.
Noise.
Traveling on, we reach Xining. Xining is a Silk Road town, and it's actually an important center for the Gelug school of Buddhists.
Ooh, cool.
There's several different temples here, and monks, scriptures, and the like. Passing on, we're going to make a right turn at the fork.
May will definitely take a moment if they stop to rest to check out a few of the temples.
absolutely. You do stay at a nicer hostel house or inn in Xining.
Where is
Yeah,
where is the border between China and Tibet? Because I
We
see
are.
that we're pretty close to it. Actually.
we're getting to it. Yeah,
We're more or less on the border.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are actually kind of cutting into a little bit, but mostly going around Tibetan Plateau.
Got
Like
it.
modern Tibet, right? Where it would be today.
Modern Tibet's borders are a little bit in question, aren't they?
Fair.
It depends on who
Fair.
you ask, and I'm not going to ask that question right
We're
now.
not having that discussion
This
right
is not that
now.
stream. No.
That's another stream for another day.
Mhm.
So you
But
passed
yes.
by. Yeah, so May, you definitely do spend some time at the temples, and there are some wonderful scriptures there, and the monks are happy to talk with you. Delighted that someone is so interested in
May
their
is
faith.
definitely taking copious notes in
Oh, yeah.
all of the cities, any place that she can visit in any of them. She's never been this far from Peking before and is
Oh yeah.
honestly very excited, but trying to keep it cool.
As a history buff myself, I am squeeing over all of this. Just very, very pleased to see all of this amazing stuff. I'm assuming Eleanor is as well.
Oh
Archaeologist.
yes, I'm assuming we are visiting as many as we can. Although
Yeah.
perhaps
If May
like,
is going through
quite
all
as
of these
many
things,
as
I'm
May,
like right
because
next to
she's on
her. Like,
overdrive.
Mhm.
Well, and because like when you guys go out and like have dinner and a relaxing night, May is off doing research constantly.
Yep.
You
We do
remember
some
it was
stuff
like
during the
pulling
day.
teeth
It's fun,
to
and
get her
then
to
we
go
go
out.
and eat dinner, and you go.
And we enjoy asking about what you've learned.
Yeah.
That's right. We find out the next morning. So, what did you find out?
That's what we talk about on the
Uh.
wagon. May regales them with everything she learned.
Oh,
and shows
you're
them her
awake.
Notes.
Eleanor, I've sent you a
Wow, what are
picture
you
of
talking about?
what Demyan looks like, so you
Okay.
know and have reference. We
Yes,
also
everyone has nice cheekbones.
Yeah. We also passed by Kanzhou, which is one of the 4 county seats of the Jiangxi province, I believe.
Cool. Okay.
So along the way, when we're staying at the Kongguan, Demyan, maybe I should wait for Sarah to get back.
Maybe.
But yeah.
I'll be Sarah. Go ahead.
Okay, so as you are all staying at Kongguans and stuff like that, you also do notice that there is a bunch of graffiti scrawled across the Kongguan walls. You know, as
In
travelers
what?
would, in Russian as well as Chinese.
Can I try and decipher the Chinese stuff?
So the Chinese stuff is mostly just like names and crude jokes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
I would
I'm
definitely
gonna
be
let our
trying to
linguist
figure
look at the Russian.
now
I
the
mean,
Russian,
we have a native Russian speaker, but May is still going to try to figure it out by herself before she
you have
asks
2 of them.
anybody. Yeah, but she still is going to try to figure it out on her own before she asks.
Yeah, of
That's who
course.
she is.
So Demyan actually points out that many of the messages, and those of you who are fluent in Russian notice, the scrawls are a combination of the names of soldiers, regiments, and the date that they passed through, messages to loved ones by refugees, leaving trails of clues to follow them, even memorials for those who did not make it along the way to wherever they are going. There are prayers as well, hoping for the future and those who are left behind. Demyan, in fact, points out a couple of messages that he left for a couple of his friends and people he knew back in his homeland.
Are there any messages in any other languages, or just those 2 predominantly?
Predominantly Russian and Chinese.
Okay.
Who's actually taking a look at this this graffiti and such?
I was reading the Chinese stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely looking, obviously. It's words.
Okay. So
Right.
all of those of you who are looking at the graffiti, you do notice that one phrase keeps appearing in particular in dark red-brown paint.
Red brown paint.
Mm-hmm.
As in.
Is it paint?
You want to
Yeah.
find out?
Or is it not?
Yes.
Is it paint?
Is it
Dr.
We
Lockhart.
investigate.
bloody something else?
Dr. Lockhart, would you like to find out?
Archaeology
Yes.
for paint.
Lick it.
Do I want to find out?
No, don't lick it.
Lick it.
Jesus. No, we don't want to get like
Licking is
dysentery or
a
something.
valid method for geologists.
Lick-
Let me say.
It's
Li-
true.
there's-
Yeah. I
there's
mean,
a separate
does
skill
my
for that.
tongue stick
Yeah.
to this rock?
Lick
Is it
skill.
Was it
Uh,
a volcanic
How
rock?
salty
sticks
is
to your
it?
tongue, right?
Dr. Lockhart, please roll me either first aid or medicine. your
Dr.
choice.
Lickhart.
Oh.
More like.
Calligraphy wouldn't tell me if it was
Chris,
ink or-
keeper
Yeah,
of
babe.
my sheet.
Oh yeah. Okay. What does she need? Medicine or what? Not medicine.
First aid?
A 1 or where's first aid?
And not my strengths.
It's under firearms.
First aid is under firearms?
It's under
Yeah.
firearms for me. I guess that's when you're gonna need it the
Oh,
most.
okay. First aid it is. That's a 30
Okay, let's
opposed
see.
to a 1. So first aid.
That's a hit right
There you go.
Ooh.
Chris got the skills to pay the
Okay.
bills, yo.
And
Dr.
guess
Lockhart.
what, baby? You get a little marker on your first aid.
You do.
Ooh.
Dr. Lockhart,
Mhm.
you're looking at this this phrase and you don't lick it, but even as it's dried, you know the smell.
Mm.
It's poop.
It is blood. It is blood.
Damn it.
And this is the phrase.
Oh, it's in Russian.
What does that? Hey, May and Russian speakers.
Yeah.
What does that say? Hey, Timur. What's up?
I'm gonna-
What does this say, bro?
I'm gonna run
Yeah.
this through my Google Translate in a second. Just chill. Hold on, let me get my phone.
Yeah. What? Yeah. What?
You
does
shouldn't
that
say what. You speak this like.
This on this trail.
Yeah,
What's
what-
up?
Google Translate.
does-
Hold on.
Make me a joke.
Camera.
Oh, the Google Translate.
Here we go. Google Translate.
What? Yeah. What does?
Oh my God. That's
Wait, where-
bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's there. Okay.
What does it
Yeah.
say, Matt?
It
Matt,
says.
don't.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But
Don't
that's
say
bad.
anything.
I'm not saying nothing.
Timur,
How did you cut-
I've
how
just
did you
messaged
cut
you.
and paste that into Google Translate? It's a picture.
Use
I
the
know.
phone-
You
use
can do the
phone to,
camera.
hover
You can do
over
the
it.
camera.
Oh,
It's like
what?
an AI.
Timur,
No
I've messaged
way.
you over on Roll20.
Oh my God.
Can I know what it says? Do I need to roll to see if my Russian can translate?
You will
this?
need to roll, Miss Chang.
Okay. I'm gonna roll to see if I can. Come on, low Russian score. Damn. I'm not gonna luck it. We have Russian speakers.
Timur,
with us.
do you see it?
We can guess because it's written in blood that it is not a happy message.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
probably.
message
Say.
Talron.
No. Yeah.
Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
I want more Ovaltine, please.
They are coming. The end is upon us. But they are coming.
Yo.
Who is they?
Who?
Doesn't quite say.
I don't know who they are. But we will fight them.
All of you who are looking at this message, there's something very uncomfortable and unnerving about this.
Just a little, yeah.
Miss Chang.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Chang,
Yes.
it feels very similar to the feeling that you've been feeling.
Okay.
This is bad.
Does this newcomer know anything about the context of this message?
It's a cat.
Demyan sort of like looks at it and says, I've been seeing this around. I don't know what exactly.
Where
Disturbing.
Where have you been seeing this around?
In these Kunghwans.
Oh,
They are scrawled in strange places.
but in Russian.
In Russian.
Only in Russian?
It seems so.
This seems old, right? Like the writing or
It-
fresh.
It's not fresh. It's definitely been here for a while. But you also know that it's repeating several places in the graffiti walls.
And also it's in blood, which will eventually wash off, like if it
Yeah.
rains.
So it's old.
But it's not too old.
Mm.
Probably like a day or two.
Depends on if it's rained.
Hmm.
When was the last time it rained on this journey?
Good question.
It has. Maybe a couple days ago.
So
Then
it's only
perhaps
a
it
couple
was
days
like-
old.
heard that was like early, like extremely early, like today.
I'm
Or
sort
yesterday.
of looking around to see if there is anyone in this. How do you pronounce it? What we're in?
Hong Kwan. You can call it a rest house.
Dunhuang?
Rest house.
Thank
So
you.
it's spelled like that.
Actually, I think.
Kung Kwan. Okay.
Kung Kwan.
Okay.
Okay.
To see if there's anyone in this Kung Kwan who looks like they might have written this or that they've been paying attention to it.
Sure.
You know what?
So you're going around to like different people and stuff like that?
I'm not necessarily speaking to them at this
Mhm.
point. I'm just kind of looking to see if there's anyone else who's either reading it or even looks like they could have been the one who wrote it.
Also,
go
there
ahead.
has to be at least. I'm probably guessing there has to at least be a trail, right? Like to where all these signs are going. There has to be like a blood trail. I'm guessing.
Does anybody work at these rest houses?
Yes. And if you were to ever bring it up, and Miss Chang, you also notice that no one really is paying attention to the graffiti, really.
Okay.
And you see the occasional like Russian refugee, or a group of Russian refugees, but always like they're always close together and not really venturing off on their own. And otherwise, it's just other travelers of Chinese descent or even Indian descent or South Asian, Central Asian as well. Just a whole mix of different people.
I will be right.
Okay.
I might actually ask some of the other travelers. Actually, I'm just going to ask them if they've seen this before or if they've seen anyone writing it.
Okay. Can I make you roll for that?
Absolutely.
Let's get a persuade.
Okay.
Nice.
47, that's a success. You managed to catch a couple of the workers and such like that, and as well as some of the travelers. A lot of them are kind of just, they seem to look at the wall and the graffiti for the first time and just like scratch their heads and just go, I'm sorry, I can't really help you. I don't know who wrote that. That's I can't even read that actually. People write stuff here all the time. I'm sorry.
Nobody's noticed someone writing in their own blood? Or somebody else's blood?
I mean, if not everyone's got paint or ink or what have you, you'd make do with what you got, I guess. That's blood?
Yes.
That's all. Get over the WAP. So,
No useful information from anybody. Okay.
unfortunately not.
No.
Zilch.
Worth a shot.
But you do notice that, like, as as a soul comes over and just starts mopping it, the other guy just shaking his head, and you just see him like visibly like shiver.
Well, perhaps they'll pay a bit more attention now.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
We pass by Yumen, another town on the Silk Road. Once under the Tibetan Empire, and in around 10 or 20 years would be a big oil town. But there's no stock market here, so hold your horses.
That face.
Solve mysteries as investigators or get real rich. There will be
Why
blood.
not both?
I drink your milkshake.
Have to stay here for a decade.
And you don't want to be here during that decade, let me tell you.
I bet.
It's not good. Okay, so we passed that.
No blood on the walls.
And
So-
Dunhuang is where we're headed, yes?
Indeed. And finally, after a month, a long, grueling month, you arrive at Dunhuang, a town on the Silk Road that at some point became the new border, the new last town before you're out in the wild for who knows how long. If you've seen out in Australia, there are signs that say like, "There's nothing for the next kilometer. Get gas, get water, and get food." It's that town. um, Indeed, in this town, you actually see these ruined watchtowers scattered about. Now, Dunhuang, otherwise known as the Blazing Beacon, as I said, it's an oasis town. It was also known as Sazhou, or the Town of Sand.
I want to go here.
It is also a key position at the branch point of China between China, India, and the West. Unfortunately, it did slip into obscurity after the Silk Road died down. And it is surrounded by massive dunes, east of the old city ruins are such dunes. A few miles north of the Singing Sand Mountain, which is a giant whispering sand dune, and this crescent moon-shaped lake. In fact, for 70 years between the 8th and 9th centuries, Dunhuang belonged to the Tibetan Empire before being reclaimed by China. It was reclaimed by Tibet again in the 15th and 16th century before the Qing dynasty drove them out. But as interesting all that is, you're not here for Dunhuang. You are here for what's 15 miles southeast, or Tianfodong, the Cave of the Thousand Buddhas. Nestled in a lovely little green valley carved into the cliffs along the river Dachuan, and surrounded by towering sand dunes that contain numerous rock temples. You see that there are all these different outcroppings and caves carved into this cliff, like this.
Cool.
In fact, caravans
I
on
want to
the
so bad.
caravans on the Silk Road would detour to visit these temples and pray for safe passage. By the way, finding a picture of this without people in it is so hard.
Oh my god, I bet. This was
at the-
probably taken at like 4 a.m. on the coldest day of the year.
Yeah. And at the height of its time, during the Tang Dynasty, there were nearly 20 monasteries and 14,000 monks at the site, along with artists, scribes, translators, and pilgrims. But by the end of the Yuan Dynasty, or the Mongol ruled dynasty, the caves fell into disrepair and forgotten by the world. And by the 20th century, it said that there's only one Taoist priest remaining at the caves.
Damn.
Now,
I'm back.
time
Sorry.
for It's All Good. You have now arrived at Tianfodong, otherwise known as the Caves of the Thousand Buddhas.
Can you
Wow.
put the Chinese name for that in the
Yep.
Roll20 chat?
So, we are all here, and it seems that there are several of these caves that are being occupied in some way or another, or was occupied. Following a desert trail to get to this valley, there's a row of trees to one side that also sort of screens the layers of caves from soft rock and the like. Now, it's the fall. The air is cooler here than it is on the plains. Trees are swaying in the breeze. Their bare branches are whispering of the bitterly cold winter to come. You see that there are ravens and other birds watching you from perches. But other than these feathered observers, there's little sign of life. As you all approach your caravan, a large red-headed man with a neatly trimmed mustache and goatee, dressed in a heavy jacket, battered fedora, jopers, and high-laced boots, marches purposely out of one of the upper-level caves. Where are you? That's not you. That's you. He says, and he waves at you. Hello there! Hey! And he jogs up to you and says, "Are you the ones that Professor Wang sent me?"
Dr. Warner, I presume?
Yes, Dr. Langdon Warner. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And you, I am Chang Mei. This is Dr. Eleanor Lockhart.
Dr. Warner, so wonderful to see you again.
Indeed, good to see you, Dr. Lockhart. And then, shakes hands and such. Oh, your skills will be very appreciated here. Very appreciated.
It is a dream realized to be here. May I introduce my husband, Charles,
Of course.
Charles, pleasure to meet you.
and our traveling companions.
Hello.
Pleasure.
My name is
Pleasure.
Sofian Bazaz-Wain.
Mr. Bazaz-Wain, I've heard of your considerable skills at photography. An artist's eye is definitely appreciated here.
Thank you. I appreciate your candor.
And Mr. Lockhart, strong handshake, of course.
Good to see you. Have we met before, John?
You've seen him. In fact, Dr. Warner was Dr. Lockhart's boss at some point.
Yeah, I thought so. It's good to see you again, Warner.
And she has shared some mixed opinions.
Yes. Good, and I
Good
kind of
game. I
pull him
totally
in.
forgot
I
you were
kind of
here.
grip his hand a little, not too tight, but like a little bit. And I pull him in and kind of
Yeah.
put my other hand on his shoulder, and
Yeah.
I squeeze his hand a little. I say, "It's good to see you, Warner. How have you been?"
Oh, it's been a dream, Lockhart. How's the old throwing arm, huh?
Well, I don't get to throw the old baseball around as much as I used to anymore, but oh god, I can still go from
Yeah.
outfield to home. You know that.
And the sight to behold. And just
Mhm.
shakes your hand and moves on to you, Timur. And you are, good sir.
Timur Repin. Pleasure to meet you.
Ah, Russian?
Da.
Perfect. You have no idea how useful your mother tongue will be. And
Well, I mean, one can never know enough languages around these days, especially given where we're at.
indeed, and I hear that you're an assistant for Dr. Lockhart in terms of history and art.
Indeed.
Oh yes, he's quite knowledgeable.
It
Very
certainly has.
He's good in a pinch.
Indeed.
Very good, very good. And then he finally reaches Demyan and says, Demyan Babanin. Pleasure. And Dr. One says, Babanin. The writer. He goes, yes. Nice to meet you. Very good, very good. Now, I'm sure you all are quite tired from your travels, and here he is. I'm sure you're all quite tired from your travels, and we have a cave prepared for you that you may set up camp in. Unfortunately, your caravan might have to stay outside. The caretaker of these caves is rather prickly about animals being inside there. The ones he can't keep out, at least.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you are shown to a cave next to Warner's, and you see that in Warner's cave already, there are a handful of other assistants. They're all seem to be either of Asian descent or American or British. And let me give you an idea of what the inside of these caves look like.
I mean, the outside is absolutely astounding. Are these actual places, Jonathan?
This is an actual place.
Holy shit!
That's
And
why
this
I
is
was sitting here going,
amazing.
I want to go here so bad.
this is the interior.
Stream sponsored field trip.
Whoa.
No.
What?
Yeah.
No. That's
yeah.
not
Wow.
possible.
It is.
Holy shit!
Vanessa, I'm going to
What?
drop these two in there for you to see.
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
Holy.
May
Holy
is
moly.
Thank you,
also
John,
losing her shit.
for sending them in Discord.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh my god.
That's
Even,
amazing.
Even
Mhm.
even Timur would definitely be impressed as well. Like, holy.
Yeah.
The colors are beautiful.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
truly like. Can you imagine what it looked like all back then? Too?
How
It would
old
be
are
even
these?
more
That's a
beautiful.
good point. How old are these caves?
These
Thousands.
date back to at least the 8th century.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit.
Ooh.
Hmm.
They're like 1,500 years old almost.
Yeah.
It's so special.
I
At
read
this
about them a
point in
little bit
time,
after
too,
the
right?
first
Yeah.
Add another 100 years on.
Hmm. And you all see that there are these beautifully colored and painted statues carved into the walls itself. There are these paintings of people and monks and animals and spirits and demons, all vividly colored and just bearing teeth, and their eyes are just vividly staring out at you. Some of them just feel it just follows you as you walk around and admire this beautiful artwork. And it's a little bit a little bit creepy in a way, but absolutely awe-inspiring. Some of you, you also notice that the murals are damaged over time with wear and tear, lack of care for these beautiful pieces of art. Um, who here has at least, let's say, a 30 in an art skill?
I do.
In art?
Yeah, an artistic skill, arts and crafts, any art skill.
I have a 35 in calligraphy.
All right.
Where is the art skill?
It's under
Art and
art/craft.
First column.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
consider photography an art,
I would. Yes.
then I have a 60-fucking-5.
Woo! Look at you.
Back then.
Okay. Those of you who have such an eye for art and skill, do notice that someone has tried to repair these paintings. They're not very good at it. Very unfortunately. But yeah.
Just like when people try to repair those old paintings, and it turns out even worse.
I think Vanessa, you
Mhm.
see that. You have appraise. I think that works.
No, not appraise doesn't work here.
No?
It has to be some art.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's like the value of something.
However,
Yeah.
May will point it out to Dr.
That's fine.
Lockhart.
There you go.
Sofian will be like,
Thank you.
there's some effort clearly to reinvigorate the colors here, but
Ah. I
Dr.
do say
Warner, do you know who has been working on these artifacts?
Dr. Warner kind of crosses his arms and just like looks over his shoulder a bit and just says, "Unfortunately, yes, I do. I do. He lowers his voice. It's the caretaker here, the priest. He is, I think, on his rounds. Mr. Wang Yuanlu. He's a bit of a crotchety old man, if I may say. A Taoist
Well-
priest.
Mr. Huang's heart seems to be in the right place, but his artistic skill is lacking.
Mhm. Yes, indeed. The heart's in the right place, but the hand is not.
Well, is there anything that can be done to stop him from putting his own spin on these artifacts?
Well, actually, I came here because I had developed a chemical that actually helps preserve the frescoes to be safely removed and then reassembled later.
Why would you
And-
remove them?
Well, with how many people pass by here, especially the contingent of Russians who was interned for a season, it's disgraceful what they've done. It's not safe here.
So where would you
Oh,
move these?
We're talking about a number of tourists, right?
Not just tourists, soldiers who have been passing by.
Soldiers.
Indeed.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hmm.
May sort of reverently lays her hand gently on one of them and she says, "This space is sacred. They belong here."
well, they seem to have a problem with lasting here, though, May.
It is not a matter of lasting, it is a matter of the space. This is where they belong.
I don't disagree with you, May. I'm simply saying that if they are to stay here, they need some form of way of being preserved.
Well, it seems that Mr. Warner has found a way of preserving them. It's just that he also wishes to remove them in the process.
No. Well, is that the case, Mr. Warner?
He sort of considers his words a bit and says, I wish for them to be in safe hands, and unfortunately I do not believe that, however good intentioned, Priest Wong's hands are not safe, at least for preserving the artistic integrity of these pieces.
But what would your methodology be for preserving them that would be different from his?
We would have actual experts who understand, such as perhaps yourself, Miss Chang, to work on these pieces and restore them. And then once the Chinese government is capable and ready to receive these pieces back, we can discuss it at that moment. But that moment is not now. I've seen what the Chinese government has done, and it's little better than the caretakers' efforts.
I can certainly see where where they're coming from, at least.
May doesn't say anything, but you see that her hands are kind of fidgety in a way that is not usual for her, and it's that she is fingering the rosewood mala that she has wrapped around her wrist.
Mr. Warner, have you yet to partner with a specific museum for this project?
Indeed, I have. The Fog Museum attached to Harvard University.
Harvard. Reputable. Certain.
I've heard of it.
Distant is all that May says.
And are they expecting delivery of these pieces to their property?
For safekeeping, yes.
Of course.
And upon whose authorization are you to remove these?
By the museums, and the government has allowed me to dig this site. Now, I understand that this is of great importance and interest to all of you, these paintings, but this is not why I particularly have gathered you here.
Right.
Of course, your skills would be greatly appreciated in the effort, and hopefully, Miss Chang and those of you concerned, your involvement will help ease those concerns. Now, the reason why I have called you is, have you heard of the library cave?
We heard of the library.
I heard of the library cave. It sounds
Is
like
that
a
like
cave
the
I would have
loot
heard of.
cave?
It is not the loot cave. Do not shoot the library cave.
I mean, May's going to be hard pressed not to, but
Sounds like he's looting this cave. So.
I'm not the librarian here, but sounds pretty cool.
What's the
Yeah.
library cave?
I was
Who
going to
has
say-
good history? Who has history or
I do.
lore Buddhism?
I have 60 history.
Oh, I have Lord Buddhism.
I have.
I have 45 history.
I have
Can you check my
45.
sheet, please?
Vanessa has 72 history.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Okay.
I have 30 lore Buddhism.
So,
Eleanor wanted this job.
so you all know this. You all know about the library cave for various different reasons, but you do know that
My wife told me.
Your wife has told you, and I'm sure your wife had opinions about this one, because the library cave is one of the biggest discoveries about medieval Buddhism made in the last 100 years. Wang Yuanlu apparently discovered the cave in 1900, and in 1904 revealed it to the world. In that time, namely, many of those pieces were removed from the cave. Huge piles of manuscripts, textiles, statuary from the site's history. And among them is... I'm looking for it. I just had it. the Diamond Sutra, I believe.
Sounds
Yeah.
sparkly.
The Diamond Sutra. It is the oldest known printed book in existence.
What does it depict?
Oh, then May definitely knows about this.
It was taken by Sir Mark Earl Stein back to the United Kingdom, Great Britain.
Mark Earlstein?
Oral. Sir
Mark. Oh, that guy.
Earl Stein.
Sorry.
Arl Stein's
Who? What? Where?
predecessor.
Mark,
So Mark-
Oral Stein?
Yes,
Should I know this
Oral.
He
name?
just put it in chat.
Yeah, in chat.
I feel like
he
I
is a
should know
fa-
this name, but I
He
don't.
is one of the many Western archaeologists who raided the Cave of the Thousand
One of-
Buddhas in the early 1900s and 1920s. He raided it twice, in 1907 and 1914,
He forgot
along
something the
with-
first time and came back, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
sorry."
a bunch,
Yeah.
I bet.
along with Paul Pelliot from France in 1908, Count Otani in 1911, along with his Japanese pilgrims. It is actually written in quotes. And Sergei Oldenburg in 1914 from
These are
Russia.
Great names. I know that they're actual names, but God, they're
real, yeah.
great names.
They're not just
Yeah.
names, Matt. They're people.
Who cares? They're people.
They were shitty people.
They're
but great names.
dead now.
They're
Who
dead.
cares?
How dare you,
They're long dead. Who gives a
Count
shit?
Olani? Look at that
I
name.
know exactly
Don't
what I
speak
am
ill of the
researching
dead.
Otani.
They'll
for-
come back.
Yeah. Now the
Sergei
Chinese.
Oldenburg. These are great NPC names. I'm gonna
know.
I am gonna grab them and
Sergei
use them in my
Yes.
games.
They'll have a second life.
I
Now
am
the Chinese-
Sergei Oldenburg.
Dos Vedonia. My name is Sergei Oldenburg.
Oh
and I
man,
endorse this message.
If you do not comply, this message will explode.
Now the Chinese managed to claim some of the cave's wonders in
You killed
1910,
Matt.
but
sorry, that was really good.
Matt is dead.
I'm fine. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We need icons for over the Zoom things to put a big skull over people's faces when they die.
when they die.
Dead.
Think
Yeah,
you
uh,
can do that?
Come on, Matt. Twitch. Get the Twitch.
I will
alert or
make it
something.
happen. It's fine.
but yes, there are.
Alerts.
You're very familiar with many of you are familiar with the library cave and the many treasures that it had. Now,
I'm gonna say that I'm glad you gave us that because that makes May even more against his plan to take these murals out of the cave.
Yeah, fuck this
Even
guy.
more than Charity was.
okay, very well. One notices that you all recognize it and says, "Oh, good, you know of the cave." Now, he lowers his voice.
No shit,
I-
Warner.
I heard rumor of another hidden cave discovered recently by a prisoner who intended to return for the wealth it contained. Perhaps riches that would set this man up for life if he were to sell them. A Russian soldier, in fact, who was detained over the winter in one of the caves. Now, the soldier has yet to make his appearance, but I would like to find this cave that he apparently found. If we do, and if it's like the library cave, the things that we would find there, the scriptures and the artifacts, will advance what we know by leaps and bounds about medieval Buddhism.
Do you have a name of this soldier?
Oh, sorry.
Apologies.
Go ahead.
I heard his name was Dima, but I have not been able to find him.
When he says that,
Side-eye.
May is watching Damien.
Damien just kind of like goes, Dima, short for Dimitri, and he says, and one goes, that sounds about right. And Damien says, oh, well, maybe he left a clue somewhere. I'm sure that he doesn't have this entire cave system mapped out, right? That would be silly if he was detained in the cave. To which Warner says, yes. So, I also heard that, well, I don't know where the cave is, but I think it should be in some of the graffiti that might be in the caves where the soldiers were stored. Now, the priest likes to tidy up around and putter around with his paints and stuff like that, so I cannot be sure, but somewhere in this Russian graffiti there are clues. But unfortunately, I cannot read Russian, and I was vague in my message because I did not want to reveal what I surmise to be true.
Dr. Warner, if we assist you in completing your expedition here, what shall you promise us?
I can promise you credit for the discovery, as well as I understand that you're concerned about the care and placement of these artifacts. We can discuss that if we discover this hidden cave.
And if we shall discover this hidden cave for you, whose name shall be listed in memoriam?
Make a persuasion check.
Nice. Persuasion check.
Persuade.
Oh, it's not a very good
Persuade or charm.
Timur's used to being the
charm.
woman
Okay,
Oh.
let me try charm.
male-dominated industry.
You already did
Let me
persuade.
try charm.
You did
Oh, no.
persuade.
Okay, I did persuade. Okay, nope, did not go. Oh wait, that was my. No. Okay, that was hers.
That was
Uh,
hers. It just, you really rolled it, but-
Thanks for rolling.
He says,
Hold on. As she says that, I put my hand on her shoulder and I say, "I'm sorry. What was that?" And then, no, damn it, so close.
he just
May
says,
is actually let him answer, and then May has something to add to this conversation
He says-
as well.
"My name will be first, but you'll be right after."
Mm-hmm.
Twitches.
Very
I
small
just
print.
grumble.
Very small print.
Oh, forgive
Footnote.
me, but my concern is less with whose name is where and where these artifacts end up. Should we locate them, would we have some say in their final destination?
Yes, you would, Miss Chang. I can tell you're very concerned about this, and the discussion can be had should we find what I believe these caves contain.
And we trust him.
May just sort of nods to him as he says that. She doesn't know if she trusts him or not, but
Does anyone want to roll psychology?
Sure.
not me.
I'm not bad at it, especially since I've increased my Oh, well, never mind.
Nice.
Well done,
Okay,
Jack.
Charles. It's funny that you sort of came up behind your wife, Dr. Lockhart, and put a hand on her shoulder. Because as you did that, you see that Dr. Warner sort of like looks over his a bit and then looks back. And he seems to be regularly checking over his shoulder while speaking to you.
Okay. Warner, I would wonder if you would like to have a. What time of day is it, John?
I would say that it's around midday afternoon.
How about a spot of afternoon tea? Hmm?
Yes, of course. I can bring over the pot here, or if you're not settled yet, we can come over to my camp.
I think we could make a small trip to your establishment.
Okay.
I will remain here and begin unpacking my things.
Great.
All right.
Eleanor, would you like to join me?
All right. And as
Anybody
you're-
else for some tea?
I would
Why
love
not?
some.
Okay.
Awesome. Timur?
Why not?
Perfect.
Demian says, Sofian, if you don't mind, I would not Sofian. Who's staying? Chang Mei.
is staying.
May is
Yep.
staying.
Demian says, if you don't mind, Miss Chang, I would love to stay here as well and appreciate the fine artistry here.
By all means, I do not own the cave.
Hello, Lady Eleanor.
Oh my god, that cat just came
Nor does
from
this kitty.
nowhere.
She
Alright.
has grown so much, Sarah. Oh, what a sweet girl.
So,
Big
as you all
cat.
settle into the caves and begin to figure your way around, let's go and figure out a way to break.
All right.
Nice.
Perfect timing.
All right.
I'm gonna
So,
fix Vanessa's computer.
be back in 1, 2,
Yay.
3, 4, 5.
You want to do 5 minutes, or do you want to do
Hopefully
more?
5.
You want to do 5? Let's
Five.
let's
I'm
be
going
careful.
to restart my computer.
Let's
Let's
do. Let's
call
make it.
5.
Let's make it a lucky 7. Let's make it a
Lucky
lucky
7.
7.
Number 11. Okay, great.
All right, beautiful.
All
All right.
back in 7 minutes. Don't go anywhere. More Call of Cthulhu. Children of Fear.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
I'll start.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Welcome
Take it
back, everyone. Hope you had a good break. We are back with Children of Fear, Chapter 2, The Cave of the Thousand Buddhas, a Call of Cthulhu campaign by Chaosium. I think that's all the titles and language and stuff. And we've returned back to the caves at Tianfotong, where Chang Mei and Demian Babatnan are hanging out in the cave that is going to be their campsite for the time being. While Langdon Warner, Charles Lockhart, Dr. Eleanor Lockhart, Timur Repin, and Sofian Bazaz-Wain have headed to Warner's campsite to also have some afternoon tea. Charles, just to remind you, you once again did notice that Warner was looking over his shoulder regularly,
Yes.
even while talking to all of you.
As we are walking towards his cave, excuse me, Charles again puts his kind of arm around Warner's shoulder, and he says, Warner, how is it? How is it here in these caves? You seem a little uptight.
He sort of like looks at you and sort of also like puts an arm around your shoulder and just says, well, you know, hard at work here, and the priest isn't quite happy with my presence, especially after Stein and Pelio. And I mean, Stein came here twice and took so many things for
A true ransack, I hear, from what I understand.
I mean, between you and me, I think the priest sold out.
Really? You think he had a hand in that?
Who can say? But those pieces got out there, got out to Britain somehow. And he also just kind of like looks over his shoulder again, and just says, "It's strange. I think it's nonsense, but I have the strangest feeling that ever since I left Sion, I've been watched."
Watched.
How do you mean?
Like something or someone is watching me, and it's nonsense. And at least I would think it is. I hope it is.
Well, I'll say this, Wana. Always trust your gut, my friend. If your gut tells you to watch your back, it's good you should watch it.
I mean, appreciate it, Lockhart. But by this time you've arrived in the into his campsite, and you know there's a
Until next time.
there's a kettle put down and just says, it's also strange. I've been having these dreams, and
What sort of dreams?
it's very odd. I think I've been inside these caves too long. These humans and these people and creatures and demons are just, you know how to stare at you. It's unsettling.
The teapot's there, like ready, right? I quickly pour a bunch of teas and kind of, you know, I'm pretty well versed in this custom, right? So I'm able to if you want me to make a roll, I can.
No, you're good.
Great. I let my inner diplomat come out, and you know, my old college days of being the life of the party, quickly fill up a couple glasses, hand them out to everybody.
Yeah.
and I sit down next to Warner, and I say, "Tell me more about these demons."
Charles Lockhart, please make
Mhm.
me a persuade or charm check.
Say persuade. Ooh, I'm taking luck on that, baby. That's one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The One Piece is real.
That's right.
Oh God.
Okay. You just see he's holding this cup and just goes, "There's strange dreams, and I think it's inspired by these."
If the walls had eyes, sort of thing.
Something like that. It's. I don't know. I don't think you would understand. I just need a good night's sleep, I think.
It's fair. The tea will help. Eleanor, what can you tell us about these statues, etc. in this?
The figures in the caves.
Yes. What do you know of them?
I'll leave it to you if you'd like, or shall I?
Think you might have a more historically accurate perspective.
Fair. That's fair.
So many of the things that are being depicted are drawings and paintings of scenes from scriptures, and there are several Buddhas and monks and the like, and basically all these beautiful scenes of like trees, and as you're looking on, you see that there's this large demon that seems with like these 4 arms. One's arms just is holding this poor man crushed in his grip. And Charles, as you're sort of being like showed around by Dr. Lockhart, your wife, to like at these different pages, you see in that hand for a split second, that person is Eleanor being crushed in the grip.
Oh shit!
What?
And you blink. It's just you see that there's just a painted, screaming individual. You just swear for that second. That person just drawn there looked exactly like your wife, Eleanor.
I grip her hand and hold a little extra tightly.
I'm surprised and I squeeze back affectionately.
Love will keep us alive.
Hopefully.
Or I won't have to, or she won't die.
Oh, Christ, if one of them dies, are we going to end up in RPG horror stories?
Oh Lord.
God.
Only if my zombified corpse comes back.
This is good tea, by the way, Lockhart.
Ah, yes. Well, you brewed it, so thank you.
And you knew how and when to pour it, so.
It's all about patience and timing, my friend. Things that everyone can use in their lives.
Timing indeed.
While Sofian is sort of taking his time in the tea area here, drinking his tea, thinking about what's the next thing here, walks over to Timur and says, "I say, old man, how are you making out?"
Timur?
Is he alive? I poke him.
Sorry, I was
It's fine.
distracted by the art.
It's fine.
Distracted by the art.
Of course. It's a perfectly natural Russian response. I say, how are you making out?
I'm assuming perfectly fine. Why do you ask?
I was thinking maybe we should make a chat to that priest fellow. He was saying that there was this priest. Seems to be kind of meddling about in the caves. Maybe we could make him reconsider.
You're not really expecting any trouble from this fellow, are you?
I don't know. Trouble is as trouble does. Yes? What?
Well, I suppose a little chit-chat won't hurt anyone.
It's
Hopefully.
worthwhile, simply. You may know more about this place than anyone here, including Warner. After all.
Then by all means.
Certainly. Thank you for your accompaniment.
Alright. So you wish to go and visit the priest?
Yeah, I take Timur along with me, and I head on over to where I assume that the priest... I'm not sure where this guy is. I mean, I assume that he can be found.
You see that on the map, I think. Over here, there's a little token.
Oh, yeah.
It says
Priest's quarters.
All the way over there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just a hop,
Way
skip, and
over
jump.
there.
I'm going to go right over here. Oh, I'm going to move my token.
So it's a little bit of a representation, but the priest, the Taoist priest, Wang Yuanlu, you find that his quarters are in fact a tiny cell at the base of an enormous statue of the Buddha. And when you arrive, yeah, so when you arrive, you see that there is an old man who's standing at the door, and he's talking to a couple of individuals, and you see he's just speaking in Chinese, and they're conversing and they're bowing to each other, and then sort of waves goodbye. And do either of you speak Chinese?
I do not speak Chinese
I
at
do.
all.
Timur,
You're not.
you speak,
I don't
right?
believe you're with us, Charles.
I mean,
Oh, I'm not with you. Yeah, no.
Probably most likely broken Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
What's your Chinese score after your improvement?
37.
It's better than my Russian.
Yeah.
Meh.
Got a
Still broken,
flat
though.
0. I speak other languages instead.
Like I said, my Chinese is broken, so.
Yeah. So the priest, Mr. Wang, looks like this.
There he is.
Oh, it begins.
Wow. Yuan
He's-
Lu.
He looks like fun.
He's a nice guy. He's got a smile. He's very trustworthy looking.
He just
Okay.
sort of gives you, he just sort of looks and just gives you the,
Waves you
I-
down.
and just says, "Hello, good day,"
Hello. How are you?
in Chinese, unfortunately.
I speak no Chinese whatsoever.
At
Tim-
least,
Timur, would you
Okay.
be so kind as to translate?
by all means. I say as I'm trying to like translate, like at least kind of struggling to. I'm guessing.
Yeah, Timur, would you be so kind as to ask him if he speaks any English or Farsi or French?
I try to relay that to the priest. Do you know English, French,
Hindustani, perhaps?
Hindustani?
He says, "No, oh, only Chinese.
All right.
Are you
Chinese.
pilgrims?"
What did he say?
Are we pilgrims? Yeah. Well,
Pilgrims? No, say that we are oh dear, I don't know if there's a way to put it. Research. Is there a Chinese word for research
There is, because I've been asked it by my family.
Wait, what?
Timur said, let him know that we are not pilgrims. No, it is not religious efforts. It is assisting Langdon, a Warner.
We know pilgrims. assist helping with Warner.
Ah, Warner.
They got that one.
Hmm. And he just looks at you and says, "Don't touch anything."
Don't
And it
touch.
just like looks at you and just jabs his finger at you. Just like, "Don't touch
shit.
anything."
You pissed him off.
Warner meddling around.
Oh shit!
What did he say, Timur?
Apparently we aren't. I think we're not supposed to meddle with anything.
Metal?
Doesn't seem to like Warner whatsoever.
Sorry to
Just
hear
don't.
that. Honestly.
He then says, "You really want to help?
Yes.
Yes.
Donate.
What-
We are always short on funds."
What does he say, Timur?
Money.
Give me a fucking money.
If we want to help, donate.
Donate! Ah! A man after my own heart. Yes, of course. Ask him what kind of money he accepts.
What kind of money?
Silver dollar,
Silver dollars.
which you all would have in
Right.
Conversion.
Yeah.
Which is we've basically established a 2 to 1, $2 silver dollars to $1 American dollar.
That's
basically.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and my other helpers here, we try our best to care for these sacred places. It's hard work, and we do with what we can.
Well, Timur, give the man some money.
Oh, perfect.
Oh man, how much do I have on me? Okay.
You have a cash amount. I assume that like if you up to that amount, you're fine.
You don't have to worry about like gold and silver and shit. Thank God. Call of Cthulhu.
Thank Jeebus.
I'm trying to think. What's a generous amount?
I think it's
like
2 to 1, Tauron. So
$2. Yeah.
And
That'd
we
be $4,
determined, so
yeah.
just so you
Pretty
know,
good.
earlier the $5 American dollars he gave him was about 87.
Damn.
that was a lot. It was
Yeah.
a lot of money.
American.
Yeah, that $5 was a lot. Granted, I had $80 on me, so whatever.
Yeah, you got a lot more money than the
Yeah.
rest of us.
It's a
you
lot.
bastard.
Got a
I'm
lot of
rich,
money.
guys.
What the fuck?
So,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give. Then yeah, I'll give like 2.
think
silver
Eleanor is
dollars.
even
I've
richer
got
than I am.
35 on me.
Yeah.
So that's
So, you hand over the 2 silver, and he just takes and goes, "Thank you. May the Buddha bless you and watch over you." And he sort of like pockets the money and is like, "Now, I must go and set to work." And he shuts the door, and you see he's got this like little satchel, and just starts making his way over to one of the caves.
Why do I get the feeling that that conversation was completely useless?
Most likely was.
Why did we just get completely bamboozled by that little old man for money? I was hoping that he would stop with his attitude, but it seems like he's basically just telling us to bugger off.
Concerning again.
white guy.
Well, I mean, concerning for the fact that you got.
I'm not
some
white
ancient
at all.
stuff
I'm
being-
Hindu. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, that's right. I
Yes,
forgot.
yeah.
That's
You're
quite
in
all
there.
right. It's fine. It's just me. I exude white guy.
Well, given
I
how.
will block your
most-
screen. I'm going to picture Ben Kingsley where you
Exactly.
Well, I mean, given how most of this ancient artifacts and whatnot have been taken out of its. Well.
Right. No. Well said, Timur. I get your drift. I catch what you're throwing. I catch it, and I throw it back to you.
Why don't you follow him?
Also that.
I get
He's
the
a
feeling.
man of particular tastes.
I get well. He closed the door. I think he closed the
you
door on
can-
me. Didn't
He
he close
closed the door, and then he went off towards like another one of the other caves.
Oh, one of the other caves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went way far.
Yeah. I just.
Perhaps we should.
Perhaps we should
get
examine. No. I feel like perhaps. How far away is this gentleman?
He's gone like maybe like 50 or 60 feet in a direction. He's just like
He's jamming.
Yeah.
Like, is he out of sight?
you can still see him. There's like a wide open space.
Timur, I take him around the shoulder. Timur, perhaps we should. I know it's not within our purview, but Langdon seems a right sort. He seems to think that this gentleman is doing things that are against the better nature of these artifacts here, and he seems to be quite purposefully trying to keep us away.
Saying he's not what he seems to appear.
There's only one way to find out. And it sort of gestures to the door.
Okay.
Fortune favors the bold and all that. Yes?
You have a point taken. Rather. Alright. By all means.
Oh, no. After you. I mean,
Okay.
points at
okay.
the door.
Stealthily or like.
Well, I don't want you to be heard. He's only 60 feet away from us. Bugger all.
Okay.
I stand in front of the door, just like in front of
Yeah.
Timur, like. Just like blocking Timur from the old gentleman.
Mhm. And Timur, you're trying to be quiet about it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth. Do a
Okay.
stealth. Yeah. That's fun.
Stealth.
Hey,
Nice.
nice. Mark that success, baby.
Fuck yeah.
Fortunately, because it's a creaky door, and you just figure out the right way to lift it and push it in so that you go inside. Let me tell you this. Let me put it this way: the interior of this cell, like this room, it's like a New York apartment. It's tiny. Like, as a priest, he doesn't really need much or want for much. There's a place to sleep. There's a small like stove and like kitchen cupboard, pot for tea. There's a small shelf of like books and scriptures and stuff like that. But you also see that on another shelf there are several of these small jars of paintbrushes and paints, clearly used, and a couple of other like chisels and stuff like that, spare tools and whatnot. And you see all along the inside the room, there are well-intentioned attempts at painting. They're not very good. If our viewers happen to be inside, Discord on Slices and Dices, I believe Red Platinum has posted a GIF, a rather humorous GIF, kind of like that in terms of quality. It's not great. Like, the painting was it's well intentioned, but it's not anywhere close to the quality you've seen inside of the caves.
Well, he's certainly trying.
You also see that there's like, along with the shelf of books, there's also like some scrolls and stuff like that stacked, and like a couple of small statuettes and whatnot.
Whatever any of this stuff is actually worth looking into. Might as well like take a look at some of these like statues.
Okay. Go ahead and roll appraise for me.
Oh no.
Oh my god, you have a
Whoa.
5.
It's a
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, it's a nice
It's a nice looking statue.
it's a nice looking statue. It looks old. It looks old. Um,
It's still
Uh,
standing.
but as you're holding it, Timur, you're holding the statue, and it looks to be of like a person holding an object, right? And bare chested and everything like that. And as you're holding it, your hand feels wet. And you look down and see that dripping down the back of your hand seems to be blood, and you just see a blossom of red on the statue. And the face, it just stares cold and dead into your eyes. You blink. It's just a statue. And your hand is clean.
Fuck. It's great. It's great. This is fine. This is fine. It's
I
totally
can't
fine.
believe we're not making sanity checks.
I know it's these.
I know.
Well, I mean, this is
Don't-
on
don't
Jonathan,
jinx
right?
us,
He just wants to. He wants to start us off smooth. I'm fine with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, just mess with our heads.
Yeah.
see me like start this thing like uncomfortably for a moment before I'm just like rubbing my eyes. Like, ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna put that down immediately. Okay. I think I've had my fair share of old artifacts for the one day. Find anything on your end?
If you're talking to me, I'm just standing outside, smiling at the retreating figure of this gentleman who's clearly going to another cave and hopefully not looking in our direction.
Sofian, if this was around 60 years in the future, you'd be on the cover of a magazine.
I'm probably guessing if I was to look at these other objects, it'd be like another appraise or whatever.
Yeah. You'd have to have like a
Uh,
you have to like appraise it if you're trying to look for like the value. But these all look quite old. They
yeah,
yeah.
I'm not finding any like freaking clues or whatever. Like,
Right, yeah. Is there
Yeah,
anything you'd like to do?
yeah, I don't really find anything interesting other like no like nothing in this particular tent like notes or like any particular writings besides the scrolls.
Yeah, there are the scrolls, there's some books, if you want to peruse them.
Yeah, I'll go through like like these particular writings, see if any of these like stand out.
Roll.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Do you have history or art?
Uh,
Or lore Buddhism?
I have history.
Go for history.
Oh god damn it!
Oh, ouch.
So you're looking at these scrolls and the paper feels old. It's faded. And you just unroll this beautiful manuscript. And you recognize some of the words in Chinese, but it's very difficult because it resembles Chinese, but it's not what you're used to seeing.
This is like old, like
Yeah.
like
For
ancient Chinese.
reference for the audience, it's more akin to the older versions of Chinese you might see in terms of examples where it's more flowing and more pictorial rather than a focused symbol.
No, I'm starting to think this is a waste. Like, I think after like having some difficulty trying to find anything worth looking into, I'm gonna try to quietly make my way out again.
Yeah.
To where Wayne is.
Yeah. You slip out. I'm going to carry over your success for stealth, and yeah, you quietly close the door behind you.
Not so good art. Some scrolls and writing of sort that I couldn't understand, because Chinese, of course, and unnerving statues.
Hmm.
Otherwise, oh yeah, this seems like an innocent man.
Well, I never thought of anything otherwise. Just thought I might take a look around. But perhaps it would be best if we rejoined the others.
I agree.
Good job in there. Give him a little
I could
punch on the shoulder.
come in better though.
That's right. There's always room for improvement. Come,
Alright.
let's go.
So as you head away, let's cut over, or slice over, to Miss Chang and Demyan in the cave. So what's going on?
So at the beginning of this, May has actually just been, calling to the porters from the caravan, having everyone's things brought in and sort of positioned out. Charles and Eleanor was together, everyone else spread out. She has very meticulously unpacked all of her belongings and set up her own little area in a space, probably near one of the larger statues and one of the more intact murals, a place that she felt comfortable.
Mhm.
She has she takes a moment to check the lock on her her chest, her
Her trunk,
case,
yeah.
her trunk, thank you, word I was looking for, her trunk of like personally valuable items. She actually wears it on, there's like a chain around her waist with a longer chain that she can bring the keys out on, either through the top of her shirt or down below, as opposed to a necklace, which could easily be ripped off because, she was instilled with a sense of security from her parents. It's like the American traveler leaving home for the first time who wears everything strapped in a waist belt underneath their clothes. Like, I don't want to get robbed, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also, while she's doing all of it, just kind of keeping an eye on Demian to see what he is doing. She is very torn between whether or not to trust him, because while her previous pal check, she doesn't think he's the source of her unease. There's just way too much coincidence happening right now for her. And so keeping an eye on him while she unpacks. I don't know if he does anything while she's unpacking.
Demyan does help with the porters and helping to unpack and stuff like that, move things around as he can, as much as he can with one good hand and one not so great hand. But he also does sort of like take a look around, and he starts to observe the not only the murals, but also the etchings on the wall and stuff. And he says, "These are beautiful. I do wonder what stories they are meant to tell." And
well, I can perhaps help you with that. And she will join him. And is there any writing in any of these murals at all?
yeah, there's some writing and stuff like that depicting like what's happening and such. And I myself don't have any off the top of my head,
It's
but
totally fine that you don't. I can just say that I begin describing them to him, sort of explaining, perhaps like in the ways of ancient Chinese that he might not be familiar with, explaining what some of this writing depicts. And as we're having this conversation, we'll turn to him and ask, I am curious what it is that brings you to this cave. You said this was where you were going, and it's where we were going, which is fine, but what does bring you here? Are you part of the faith?
he sort of scratches his chin for a moment. It's fun? I would like you to roll a charm or persuade. One of your choice.
Ooh, like, do I want to go for... This is like, do I want to go for skill improvement? No, I'm going to go for persuade. I want information. I'm going to go with the thing I've already succeeded in that I'm better at.
Nice.
Oh,
Extreme
doggy.
justice. I made the right choice.
He sort of like strokes his chin and just says, I have curiosities of stories not just of my own countrymen, but stories of others who walk these roads and travel these lands. We are all. Each person has a story, and it is fascinating to see where that story takes them. Now, why I am here, it's not just for stories, but sort of sighs and struggles for a moment with words and says, Miss Chang, do you ever feel as though you were being watched?
On occasion.
I am not. I am here not in my home, not entirely because of my choice. And my home is rather hostile to me. And I
Why is
hoped
that?
to make. We had a very bloody winter.
Would May know what that means?
I can ask you, how caught up with current events would May be? If you're unsure, go ahead and roll history.
Yeah, my
Probably.
history is a 5, so I'm guessing not very.
Actually, that's like book history.
But I'm good. Yeah, exactly.
I
Like I just failed
yeah.
that massively.
So here's the thing. You are a like well-educated woman in like the
Yeah,
capital of
Would we do
China.
like an education roll?
Education would be perfect. There
All
we
right,
go.
perfect.
There
There
we
we
go.
go. Success. Okay.
Yeah, you have heard news about the civil war in Russia
Okay.
and that the Bolsheviks seized control under Lenin.
So he would be on the losing side and thus like a Russian imperialist.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he would be on the White Russian side.
Okay, gotcha. So May, like living in a country that has gone through a lot of strife recently, would just sort of nod and be like, okay. I understand that. This feeling that you mentioned of being watched. Well, I felt it. And you can see her swallowing it because struggling with this whole intuition versus intellect thing is really hard for her because this is not logical. She's like, well, I felt it right before we met you. And so forgive me if that leaves me feeling a little bit strange, but... So you've never met this Demi, or Dmitri it was, you said? This Russian soldier who knows of a place deep in this cave?
I'm afraid not. The only one that I was really looking for, I left messages for. He unfortunately is dead.
Are those the messages you showed me?
Yes. I left them
Is a
looking for
bullshit
people.
check in this game a psychology check?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fail it, but I'm gonna make it anyway.
Oh!
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh wow!
2.
Ooh. Give me a second.
Damn.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That was 1 away from immediately improving my score. Damn, baby.
Yeah.
It's true. You see that there is a profound grief. As though he is also still struggling to accept that this man is dead.
Okay. May will sort of just take a moment to let him process what she has brought, and then will apologize. I'm sorry. I did not mean to cause you pain. Well, I want to be sure you can be trusted. This is... Well, I myself am in an interesting position, as this is a place that is both sacred to me and also fascinating. And I sometimes do not know how to reconcile the academic and the faithful part of me, I suppose you would say, or the devoted.
He nods in understanding and says, "Thank you, and it's a struggle indeed. I can see that this place certainly holds significance to you, and if it helps, Miss Chang, I know your trust is not yet in who I am and what I say, but if it helps, I do find that I can trust you. You seem the most trustworthy so far.
Thank you.
And you mentioned that the feeling was shortly before we met.
It was. Almost immediately, in fact.
It's fascinating because I have felt it. I felt it along the corridor, and my most recent feeling was when I was guiding that group of refugees. That is why I joined with them, to make myself within a large number of people, hoping to provide cover.
Do you have a reason that someone would follow you?
He holds up his mangled hand. I suspect someone wants to finish the job.
But this far, truly.
The Bolsheviks will go to the ends of the earth to take out their enemies.
Suppose I can understand that. All right, enough suspicion. You seem like an upstanding man, and one of curiosity, and that is something I can respect. Will you help me explore this cave?
I would be happy to. And I know he is a pompous American, but Warner seems to be onto something. These graffiti markings are strange. They're not like the ones from the travels.
How would you know?
Call it an ability to read between the lines.
Based on previous roles, she's going to give it to him. My problem with Warner is my problem with all Americans, or British, or French, or, pardon me for saying so, Russian, who come to my country and wish to take our history for themselves. Should we find whatever it is that Warner is looking for, I do not want it to leave China. Or whatever we're calling the country in this historical period. I apologize.
It'd be China.
It would be China? Okay, just checking.
He so nods and says, "Well, if it gives you any assurance, Miss Chang, I only wish to behold these scriptures where they belong. Within these temple caves."
I'm gonna do the bullshit check.
Okay.
Probably fail it this time. We only get one glorious success in
Yeah.
You are distracted by the stunning blue eyes.
Yeah, exactly, which is totally fine. So, she was going to agree anyway. I just wanted to make the check.
Yeah.
For flavor. So she'll just be like, "Thank you for that. It does mean much." Now, about these writings, and she's just gonna start, like, she's gonna dive into that goddamn wall like it's her baby.
Okay.
She's gonna pull out a notebook and start trying to accurately transcribe it, including the style, like, not just what it says, but, like,
Excuse me.
not the art, because she's not an artist. She can't draw, but anywhere that there's writing, she is trying to very accurately mimic the handwriting of what she is transcribing.
Mm-hmm. All right. And at that, let's cut back to Warner at the campsite with the Lockharts. So Warner, holding the cup of tea, just says, "Now, if we're all ready, we should gather your friends, and I do suggest we look over the graffiti and the various markings on the walls. We should also be careful of the priest. His parishioners and acolytes have been visiting more often, and more eyes means more mouths to tell the caretaker of whatever he might deem to be a transgression against these caves. I want to find wherever this hidden cave is before he bothers the local Anban to put a stop to any work here. The Anban is a regional warlord, and if I recall correctly, the current regional Anban is not a nice guy.
Figures.
If I'm getting my clicks correct.
I don't think any of them
Yeah.
would be nice guys, to be honest.
So
Dr. Warner, before we reconvene and look at these new artifacts, what have you discovered so far here?
several interesting murals and the like. Nothing has not been already seen, however. I'm hoping that the majority of the new discoveries are in this cave that I keep hearing about. I do think that it is in... Some clue has to be there in the caves that the Russian soldiers are being held in. And he sort of just like rubs his head and struggles for a bit. Can I confide in you?
But of course.
I've known the two of you for longer than your companions, for sure. Charles, you mentioned you asked about the dreams I was having. Yes.
Yes, my friend. I'm curious as to what we can discover from them.
It's so strange. Every time I am standing in a cave, and the walls are covered in words that I cannot read, written in a thick red paint. And when I try to touch the words, the ground shakes. A large black bird flies into my face. It attempts to peck out my eyes before just bursting in a shower of pink and white flowers.
Pink and white, you say?
Yes, and then I wake up. It's... As I said, it's odd, but not particularly nightmarish. Except for the bird. The bird is cross.
Sounds like something out of mythology.
Yes.
Perhaps.
You know what type of bird it would be?
I'm not sure. It's a black bird, so perhaps a raven or a crow?
Distinctly possible. Do you see anything else in the pictures on the walls?
That's it, I'm afraid. It's just these words. I cannot read them.
Must be this place. It has a particular hold on. Seems everyone that would be here. I myself have second guessed my sight over the past few hours that we've been here.
I see. The sooner we're done find the cave, the better it is for all of us.
Agreed.
At that, I think Timur and Sofian return,
Right, yeah.
as well as I think Mei and Demian probably make their way to and all converge upon.
Having unpacked meticulously unpacked my area and put everyone else's belongings in, basically having situated camp. And determine that Demian is not going to go off on his own and do something nefarious. Yes, would go and rejoin the others.
Yeah, Demian actually continues with you and takes in the writings and the paintings. You see that
I would have made sure he came with me.
Yeah.
I would have found a way if he refused.
He goes with you, and you see that he reaches into his pocket and pulls out this notepad and sort of balances it on his hand, uses one of his fingers to hold it, and starts to write with his left hand, shakily.
May appreciates that.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you all converge back, and
I would say she actually looks over and says, "You were not always left-handed."
Well,
yeah, just like a pleasant question. You were not always left-handed.
I was not, but I had to learn to be.
You do well.
Smiles and says, "Thank you." Yeah.
She likes him. They're buddies now.
As you all sort of converge back, and Warner steps up, finishing his tea. All right, so if you like, I can show you to where the caves are if you're ready to go, and get hunting.
Yes, I'm sure we're all eager to see them.
May pulls a flashlight out of her pocket. She is so ready to go.
All right, so I would like everyone to make a Russian language roll.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I can't.
Do we have that?
What if
I
you
don't
don't
even
have
have it.
Russian?
What?
Oh, I failed
How do-
bad.
How did
How
you
much
do
fail-
that?
For
How do I
luck,
fail on my
Timur.
own Russian?
Yeah, how
You
did
can luck
For-
that
for
You're
shit.
what?
from Russia?
you know what? I'm
Wow,
gonna just,
you only have a 60 in your own language?
You know what?
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's been back in the
you know
motherland.
what? I'm gonna spend 4 points.
Wait, how did Demian fail
Yeah.
when you rolled above?
You know what? I'm gonna spend 4 points on that.
Good. Smart.
No, seriously, how did Demian fail when he rolled above? That's...
You're rolling below.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Damn. Jesus.
He rolled a 90.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Timur, you spend the 4 luck points, and within an hour or so of piecing all these bits together, you realize that these random parts in the graffiti, besides the jokes and names and regiments that you're seeing that are a little bit more cluttered, you realize that the random marks are not random. They're sequenced. And you begin to put the sequences together. And as your sequence comes together, the phrase forms in your mind. They are come. The end is upon us, or they are come.
Shit! God damn it!
This is the same messages from before.
Is it the same message, though?
It is the same message.
Is it written in blood?
You passed the check before, Dr. Lockhart, and yeah, it's written in blood.
What the heck?
Right.
Ew.
And Demian says, it's just like the ones that were mentioned. It's strange.
The ones that were mentioned are the ones that we saw.
The ones that you saw, excuse me.
How
Um,
fresh does this seem?
it's dried and caked. It's faded.
I need to stop being suspicious. I've decided I trust him. I need to not stop.
And he sort of looks and says, I don't think, I think Warner's wrong about these Russian graffitis.
How so? You think what?
I don't think they point anywhere.
These are more like omens of sort. But to
But you-
what?
It's
But
strange.
if they continue, they may continue to the point from which they originated.
Very clever, Miss Chang, says Demyan. How about we follow that lead? Whoever would like to go for this, please roll spot hidden.
Oh, no.
I'll take it.
I refuse.
I'm supposed to. I'll take it. I have 75.
I have a
someone took
60.
it from
I have a
me. I heard
60.
it go up.
There you go.
There you go,
All right.
Eleanor. Take that shit.
In the words of Doctor
Cannot
Strange,
pass up a challenge.
I just
And
want to
wh-
see if I can get an extreme success. Nope, I failed.
in the words of
There you
Doctor
go.
Strange, let's Scooby-Doo this shit.
Scooby-Doo the shit.
Okay. So you make your way. You make your way following the trail of this phrase up to a cave. And you find that it leads you to 3 separate sentences that are scratched into the wall beneath this phrase.
Oh god.
And as you put them together, it reads as follows. Between the red god in his dark heaven and the fat merchant's camel, the door to paradise.
What the fuck kind of...
Between his dark heaven and the fat merchant's
Yeah.
camel. The what paradise?
The door to
Door.
paradise.
Door to paradise.
And this is written in what
In what
language?
language?
That's a good question. It is written in Russian.
Is it also written in blood?
It is also written in. It's scratched into the wall, actually.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't this still look like a day old? I don't know.
It is around as old as. Let's say that it could be around as old as the markings that you've been following.
No, it's definitely consistent.
Well, first of all, Sofian takes out his camera and takes several pictures of this.
Mhm.
Just for posterity.
Can I make a calligraphy check to see if this handwriting looks the same?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
It is the same handwriting.
All right.
So,
Dr. Warner, how long have you been here?
Oh, I haven't answered that question actually. I've been here since September. In fact.
and it's now
September-
November, right?
Yes, it's early
Okay.
November.
And did these markings predate your visitation here?
I've never seen these markings before, but yes, it seems so.
Do you have any record of who has obtained access to this site before you?
I tried. This is where they are storing the Russian soldiers. Interning them for whatever the Amban needed to get from them.
Are we certain all the soldiers were Russians? Or only those who spoke Russian?
I couldn't even get records, but who would have snuck in with the Russian soldiers then?
I believe we're asking the wrong questions. I don't know what this refers to, but perhaps one of us perhaps knows exactly what kind of metaphorical language this is
Can I-
using here.
Can I do a history check on this thing?
You can try history. I will accept 3 different roles here.
Yeah.
History, occult, or lore Buddhism.
Oh crap!
I'll take Lord Buddhism.
I'll take Lord Buddhism for 300, Alex.
Ooh.
Very good, everyone.
Holy shit.
I haven't even
You
fucking
are-
rolled yet. God damn
Oh,
it!
I passed it! Yay!
I
This
on
is
your
why I only
shit,
have
Matt.
one. This is the reason why I only had one skill.
Oh,
Because everyone
I'm
else is like,
so good
I'm
at
just
that.
gonna push buttons, and I'm like, I can't. I'm fucking with the stream. So,
Bruh, I was even doing 2 sheets earlier.
I promise you, Matt, Sofian becomes
There you
very
go.
relevant.
oh, I'm not saying he's irrelevant.
You
He'll
will be
die
willing to
before he
much
becomes irrelevant.
It's implied he's the pretty one.
Damn straight.
Looks good in a bow tie.
Okay, so yeah, you all just piece this together inside this room. Though some of the mules have been destroyed, you find the following. First, you find a red Buddha standing on a broken human corpse, surrounded by these female spirits. Oh, crap. Sorry, I just accidentally left the roll 20.
Oh,
Whoops.
Okay.
I'm
he
back.
scared himself out of roll 20.
Dun, dun.
So we see a red Buddha standing on a broken human corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that does not feel very Buddhist at all.
Not at all. Very strong right-wing
Wind is
sect
strong.
of Buddhism.
Sorry.
A sandstorm is coming.
Can you tell us which of these came from which successes, just for my knowledge?
So, you're inside the cave now.
Ooh, cave ambiance. I like the cave ambiance.
Yeah, so
Yeah, drippy.
Chang Mei, you actually identified the red Buddha and
Okay.
the spirits, which are called dakinis.
So red Buddha
Dakinis?
standing on a broken human corpse, and
Mhm.
what about the spirits?
One moment.
Sorry,
is that
I'm
one?
taking notes, so I just want to get it down right.
All good, all good.
She's the best note taker you'll ever know.
I'm not the best, but I take a lot, especially when my
I
character
have this.
when my character calls for it. When my character doesn't, I don't take shit because my character is not supposed to know anything.
All right.
Sarah can't say no to notes.
Get out.
Stop.
Go wait in the rickshaw.
Stop.
You're done.
Jesus.
Okay, I see. I don't have that handout in here yet. One moment, please.
Oh, okay.
Jonathan.exe has stopped working.
Oh,
I broke.
Yeah.
I'm
Insert
sorry.
Geralt of Rivia. Fuck me. Which ripped that show after the 3rd season.
I'm
That'd
gonna
be
miss
horrible.
Henry
I
Cavill.
still
Oh.
haven't finished too, so.
I
shush.
well, I'm not
But
gonna
I
say
haven't
anything.
played the game, and I still need to buy.
Oh
it
man,
for me
the
to
game
test
is.
it out.
Chris
Well,
has
Sarah,
the
did
book
you-
We're
in
tangenting.
Alright.
Stop.
okay.
No,
Bring us
I've
back.
been-
Tangent. Sorry, no
So-
tangent. Sorry.
No.
sorry.
So, about
Okay, yeah,
dakinis.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
the dakinis are part of. So we've got a red Buddha standing on a broken corpse, and
Ooh.
Oh,
There's a handout.
Surrounded by dakinis, which are female tantric spirits.
Oh, hot.
dakini Dikini. I'm guessing.
They're in there in the middle.
Dakini.
Yes,
Isn't
I
that
got
from
it right.
Willow? Am I wrong?
Middle
Or
of the handout.
I think I remember that
They
from
might
Willow.
be, which are tantric spirits.
Yeah, as well as a name used for experienced and enlightened female tantric practitioners, such as Padma Sambhava's treasure hiding consort, Yeshe Sogayal. Dakini, Kandromas in Tibetan, is used in legend to indicate mythical creatures with wild, playful natures. They are the messengers of the gods, teachers, guides, tertans, and even tricksters when the need arises. They also frequently take on the role of Dharmapalas, wrathful protector spirits who are as comfortable creating obstacles as they are removing them. There are 2 types of dakini: wisdom dakinis who have achieved enlightenment, and worldly dakinis who are still caught within the endless cycle of samsara.
I'm
Which
going to
is
ask you to
like-
send these to me out of game.
Yeah, these are available as handouts too.
Nice.
Okay, great.
These dakini move between human and celestial realms in order to carry out their duties. Tibetans hold that their pure land is Kachari, while their earthly kingdom is in Odiana, which also happens to be the home of Lake Danakosha, Padmasambhava's birthplace. So that is one fresco you find. The
So
Red
what
Buddha.
I'm seeing is a red Buddha
Mhm.
standing on a broken human corpse, surrounded by essentially trickster spirits.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And the other side, a few feet away, on the other side of an empty, unpainted alcove, is a mural of a caravan led by a fat man dressed in fine silks, being accosted by bandits. A truculent camel is at the rear of the procession, head towards pointed towards the alcove.
This must be the fat merchant's camel.
I'd say so.
Hmm.
So either side of the doorway has each.
Correct. There's the two
Okay.
frescoes and the alcove.
So
You see May looking generally uneasy as she says, "This seems to be a place where the Buddha's spirit was corrupted."
What makes you say that?
Well, what you see here, standing over a broken human, that is not what the Buddha does. And surrounded by influencing spirits, well, the entire point of our faith is to avoid such malady, is to find enlightenment within oneself, and thus something is corrupted here. This
Could
is
these
not good.
frescoes be from the perspective of the Russian prisoners?
Demyan says, I doubt that. I don't think painters would have made it in the army here.
These are older, I would think.
They are. I'm assuming that everyone here would know they are
Mhm.
far too old.
Warner jumps in and pops in and says, well, there are also scriptures of demons and other mythical creatures in Buddhist texts as well.
Then perhaps this is simply a representation of temptation. Yes, of course, that's what it is.
Sofian takes out his
Sorry.
camera, takes out a couple shots.
This door to paradise.
May flinches a little bit when he takes those photos. She doesn't like it.
Sofian doesn't notice.
Could this be an exit?
An exit to what?
Freedom for these Russian prisoners who use the frescoes as, symbols to share for the location.
Like a map.
Warner sort of looks at it and just says, by Jove, Dr. Lockhart, I knew it was a good idea that you came. I think you're onto something. He says, let us come back here tonight. While the priest is out on his rounds in the town, giving blessings and what have you in Dunhuang. It'll take him a while to return, and we can work under the cover of night.
If you think that would be best.
I believe so.
I want to speak to the priest at some point.
He's definitely not very keen on having Warner around.
Well, I am not Warner.
Well, just saying. Given the circumstances of all this stuff that's been taken.
Again, I am not Warner. I wish to speak to the priest for myself.
Just thought I'd give the heads up.
Is this iconography, the red Buddha, the fat camel, all this, is this unique in this particular part of the world, or has it been reflected in other places?
Yeah, yeah. You can find depictions like this in murals of demons and like mythical creatures and spirits and the like in across Buddhist texts and paintings and whatnot. It's more that this is an extremely large collection of it, and like a Library of Alexandria in a sense of Buddhist culture and
For
the
Do
like.
I
certain.
need, and this is me being not May, do I need a lore Buddhism to really understand the red Buddha, or can you just give it to me?
I can give it to you when I actually know it myself.
Okay, fair. Okay, totally true.
Because
Fair.
I actually because like if any the closest thing that my family would be familiar with or I would be familiar with is like Chinese or Mahayana Buddhism, and I don't know how that differs.
The thing is, I like Hinayana Mahayana Buddhism. I did that, but it was an undergrad, which was 20 years ago, and it was
Yeah.
a long time ago, and so I don't remember as much as I wish I did.
Is
Yeah.
there a Buddhist in the house?
Actually, to be perfectly honest, Hinayana Mahayana was senior year of college or senior year of high school. My American studies teacher was like, or my history teacher was really big into that,
Mhm.
and like would go on a fucking tear on you if you didn't know the difference between the two. But
Yeah.
that was like 1997, 1998. So that was a long time ago.
Mhm.
So once upon a time, I knew it really well, and now I don't.
You're dating yourself,
Once upon
Sarah.
a
You're
time.
dating yourself.
It's fair. Everyone knows I'm old. It's fine.
Not as old
So,
as me.
Warner makes his exit
By
out
like
of the
a
cave.
couple years, Matt. Whatever.
Yeah, Warner makes his exit out of the cave, and yeah. Do you return at night?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why
Yes.
not to.
Yeah.
We're all so intrigued.
Fuck yes, why not?
You come
Night
back
is
and
when
you find that
shit
May
happens.
has, at the very least, not set up your camps, but made sure all of your things were properly set out in respective areas for each of you.
Thank you, May.
Thank
The camp and the
you.
cave. You're welcome. May's camp is perfectly set up. She just
Yes.
falls into bed with a manuscript. Like, good night,
Mhm.
everybody. I might have a drink later. We'll see.
Tom, hey. Timo,
And
you're
then-
coming?
Come.
That time passes, and eventually, one of Warner's assistants quietly comes to fetch you. One by one, you creep along the caves, slowly, returning to that one cave where you saw the red Buddha and standing on top of the human corpse. Now, it was a mural in the daylight. At night, it is terrifying. A horrific warning, hopefully not poisoned, but you can't help to shiver down your spine as you see it. The camel's chilling.
Mm.
Now, Warner meets you and has a bag of tools and such and says, "Now, I took a look at this alcove right here, and I think this is not stone. This is mud plaster. So if we get through this, I think this is where the cave is. And I don't see any frescoes here or anything, so we should be fine."
Before you destroy anything, she turns to Sophia and she says, "Photographs, please."
Of course, yes. Takes as good of a shot in the dark as he possibly can, attaches the flash, makes sure
Yep.
that the f-stop is okay, and then...
Photographs are made.
And then May is going to meticulously scour it for any form of writing.
Okay. I will not have you roll spot hidden,
Okay.
but closely looking at it, indeed, this seems to be a mud plaster wall. Just plain.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be out of place in a cave, but not this cave. This cave, it's in a place where these scholars would venerate their worship and like put works and devote their entire lives to depicting their faith. There's a mud plaster wall here.
Then before I let him destroy it, I would like to call over Dr. Lockhart
Mhm.
and say, Doctor, this may be a stretch for you, but could you potentially determine when this wall was erected?
Well spotted, Miss Chang. It seems as if this wall is much newer than what we're seeing around it.
Okay. What can I have you roll? How about archaeology?
That was my guess.
Nice.
Very nice. Indeed, the mud plaster wall is old, but not as old as the frescoes.
So it seems this entrance was added after this cavern was in use.
Or rather, this blockade.
So it would seem.
At which point May will step away and allow it to be destroyed.
Okay. Now, I would like to know who would like to assist in this or take the lead.
I shoved
This
Timur at the wall.
This is.
Go on, boy.
Wait, what?
Go on, old boy.
I'm
It's
just
time to
imagining
fight.
instead of like, in Return of the King, instead of Grond, is Timur.
Yes.
Timur.
He's just battering rams the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know what stat we're using, but I'm pretty
This is-
sure it's
this
not
is-
me.
This is a strength roll.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
God.
brains. Fuck that noise.
Demolition roll.
Hold on. I'm checking.
Just for all
Oh,
of us.
wait a minute.
Who-
Does anyone have a higher
Wait.
strength than a 60?
I don't have demo. What is it under?
No,
No,
strength.
what's your-
Strength.
no, it's
Strength.
strength.
Just straight
Oh,
Demo.
sorry.
Chris is looking for demolition skills.
We watched too much
strength
HGTV.
65 from me. So
Oh
I'm getting
shit,
tired.
you're stronger. You're stronger than I am.
It is only one person can attempt at a time.
I'm a 40. It's not me.
I'll give
it a
shot.
Oh, God damn it.
I'll give it a
All
I'm
right.
at 60.
Okay,
Me too.
Sofian.
5 points.
Sofian takes Charles by the shoulder and says, "Go on, Charles, have a shot
Wait,
at
Eleanor,
it."
you're a 60 strength also?
I'm a 60.
Oh my God, I pay for my brains by being weak as fuck.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, Charles.
I'm cool with it. It's fine.
Oh, hard success.
Nice.
Nice.
So, Charles with the 31, that is a hard success. The book actually states, even with a regular success, the work takes 10 hours.
Motherfuck.
Oh.
Charles just like goes at it like.
It's a hard
Like, I want to know what's back there.
You take the chisel and expertly start to carve away this piece of mud plaster. You stick your fingers through and pull it to the side, almost a whole piece. Just.
Wow.
Ever so gingerly.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent preservation skills.
Indeed.
Nicely done.
I learned from the best.
Looks like
Lots of
Charles
time with
is
wifey.
has got some experience getting into holes. It's good.
Anyway, as you open this mud plaster door, all of you standing by, you prepare yourself for the stale dust that would
Stench.
be behind here. But instead, you breathe in a breathly wind of fresh air.
Well, that's different.
Fresh air.
Fresh
This is
air.
outside.
Smells better than the Boston Harbor.
It is not outside. It is into another room.
The fuck? fresh air from another room.
Indeed. Who would like to enter?
Actually, I think May will. I think
Mhm.
this is from a religion perspective something that draws her inward. So
Okay.
yes.
Lantern in hand. May, you push past Charles Lockhart. And you step into this room, and your lantern light falls on neat stacks of manuscripts, scrolls, statues.
Oh,
And a couple of other strange items that seem to be undiscernible right now in this darkness. And
mhm.
this statue of a seated Buddha that seems to gleam like it's made of bronze.
I think that she will actually immediately gravitate towards the Buddha
Mm-hmm.
and sort of sit before it and thank him. Thank
Is-
him for what has been found and sort of sit for a moment, her hands passing over the mala on her wrist and considering that this would be an excellent time. This would probably be the time to sit and meditate and commune, as it were, but also realizing that there are people behind her whose needs must be met and who she wants to keep watch over. And so we'll sort of sit before the Buddha as briefly as possible to thank him for this gift and make a promise that it will be shared in the proper way. And then we'll stand and turn to the others.
Buddha's serene, pleasant smile gazes down on you, Chang Mei, and in this moment, can you make me an art/craft or history roll?
Art, craft, or history? Okay, let's see. So, can I calligraphy roll?
Sure.
Ooh.
Not bad.
In examining this,
Yes,
in examining the design and representation of this very lifelike bronze statue, there's also inscriptions that indicate that this is not just Buddha. This is Gandharan, in which I will provide this.
Oh boy.
art. Oh boy.
It is Gandharan in origin, and it is a representation of Buddha, and namely the kingdom of Gandhara, once an independent state that lasted over 2,000 years,
Oh my god, so much true.
ruled by the Persians and the Greeks before being traded to Chandragupta, leader of the Mauryan Empire, for 500 elephants. It has had a very, very tumultuous history, that kingdom. And this Buddha is the design of the monks from Gandhara. Now, as you stand and allow the others in the room, Dr. Lockhart, Charles Lockhart, Timur, Sofian, all of you are in awe of this discovery. A wave of understanding, yet not understanding how much impact this history suddenly being returned to the world. And the choice to return it in your hands. Would anyone like to take a look around?
I would, for certain. Charles,
Absolutely.
Charles, would you
Sure.
care to join me over here by the
Wall?
by the manuscripts?
There
Yes.
are manuscripts, there are textiles, there are scrolls.
I don't
I
know
will
what any of
take-
this stuff is, but
I'm
I
gonna
will-
pee because May is totally entranced by this Buddha.
I will take appraise, history, or art/craft.
Photography for me, sir. I'm taking pictures of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, shabam, hard success.
Hard success indeed.
I'm going to fucking mark up my first goddamn thing that I've actually rolled success on the whole goddamn game tonight. Good job for me.
Alright. So, the three of you actually looking at this, Dr. Lockhart and Sofian, you understand how old these are. Sofian, you are also in particular familiar with how images can degrade and the style of images in artistry, as photography is art, a visual representation. And of course, Dr. Lockhart, your expertise. These manuscripts are so old. They're probably older. No, they are older than the ones found by Sir Mark Aurel Stein himself. These date back to the 11th century.
Wow.
These are over 1,000 years old.
Precious remnants of history.
What are they doing here?
Warner says, well, they're kept here and stored here. Safe until... Well, fortunately, we got here until the Russian came back. The Russian soldier. But they are safe now. I was so concerned about the caretaker that I suggested that we come at night, but this is not the place. This is not a time to be able to praise it. These are not the conditions. We need the day.
When Warner starts speaking about the caretaker and why he didn't want to come here, May will kind of snap out of her moment and turn to Warner and say, "What do you intend to do?"
Elect these for safekeeping and prevent them from what I think the caretaker is doing.
What do you think the caretaker is doing? You cannot remove this from this place.
He looks at you, May, and says, I've seen the people that he's come to meet and he goes to meet. He is shaking hands with those who care not for the art or what this all means. All he wants is money. Money for his childish attempts at caring for this.
Tell me, sir, who do you pray to? If anyone. Who?
I was raised Protestant.
So this means nothing to you other than art.
This is history.
This is not only history. And she sort of pulls up her sleeve and lets the mala fall down to her wrist. This is not only history. And this is not only art. You say you do not trust the priest entrusted to protect this place. Let me speak to him.
Warner sighs and just says, speak to him if you wish. And let us disagree if we still do. But I think we can all agree that it is not safe to be appraising and examining these by lantern light.
No, this is not the appropriate time. May, it is concerning that this priest is drawing over the frescoes in his own art style, and that he is showing this sacred place to other people for money.
Forgive me, but it is also concerning that this man wishes to remove religious relics from their home and take them to a different continent.
It's
Doctor.
true. You have a point.
Warner just like rubs his like neck and just goes, Yenching University. Would you find it agreeable if the American School of Archaeology there kept these relics? In cooperation with the Fog Museum.
I think we all want to see these relics as safe and sacred as they can be preserved, and to make sure that they end up in the most worthy hands, not just for money.
That I can agree on. Now, Charles, if you don't mind, Lockhart, do you mind replacing the mud plaster for the time being? I don't think anyone's going to be looking here.
Not at all. Do I have to roll anything for it, John, or can I just put it back?
You got a hard success, brother. Can you just put it back?
Yep. Gingerly.
Mm-hmm. One by one, you file out. May, if you feel like. Maybe you even take one if you want to examine it.
Oh,
But
I do.
Warner does not stop you. And at that, you quietly make your way back to your camps. You have found a hidden cave with many manuscripts and treasures of Buddhist wisdom and lore. Now, as we watch as our investigators go to make their beds and head off for the night. Mm-hmm.
This can be for next session, that's totally fine, but May 100% plans to sneak back there in the dead of night. Just putting it out there.
I would like to know what you plan on doing there.
She wants to sneak back and take a better look at the manuscripts and scrolls before they are stolen by this fucking American. She wants to go get a better look at what might be taken.
I will allow that, and I can wrap this in there too. You,
Okay.
indeed, it is like trying to, it's like if you don't, as though you wanted to drink a bathtub of water, but all you had was a thimble.
Mm-hmm.
And scripture after scripture, you're reading things that perhaps have not been laid eyes on in centuries.
I guess I should rephrase, like, she's not expecting to get all of it in a night, but she wants to get an idea of what is being taken.
Indeed.
That might be a better way of putting it.
Yes. So,
Get a general idea of what is about to be stolen.
in short,
So she knows what she's protecting.
I'm going to roll it into your calligraphy success earlier, as you determine that this is of Gandharan Buddhist scripture. And in the handout, not only did the Persians, the Greeks, and the Mauryan Empire, but also the White Huns and several other individuals have gone through the Gandharan Empire, or Kingdom of Gandhara. It has changed hands so many times. Who knows what actually managed to survive? And you're sitting right here in
On the
a time
original.
capsule
Okay.
from the 11th
All right.
century.
Amazing. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Now,
That's what
I-
she needed to know.
now, I would like everyone to tell me what is your highest of these two following skills: occult and lore Buddhism.
Mine is definitely going to be Lord Buddhism. I don't even know where my occult is, but I know Lord Buddhism is higher.
It's like a 30, right? Does
Lord
anyone
Buddhism is
have
30.
occult higher than 5?
No,
I have
5
a
is my
5.
score.
And I think Chang Mei is the only one who has lore Buddhism. By the way, Michael Lee is here. He's just chilling. He's having a great time.
Oh, he
What's
came
up, Mike?
with us?
Oh,
Were we waiting for someone to play him?
Oh,
I think we left him behind. I thought we left him behind back in
I thought he
Peking.
just decided
Been
to
hanging
go
out.
home.
he's
Yeah.
just been hanging out. He's been having a good time. He's been hanging out with Who and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have a whole bench of characters in case.
Oh,
I thought
thank
he
God.
decided to
Oh,
go
thank
home.
God.
Okay.
No. It's the backup crew. It's fine. We're
Yeah.
good with that. In case somebody
Yeah,
dies.
no.
If I die first, I don't know how to go from Buddhist to devout Christian. That's gonna be weird as shit.
That's fine.
You can
We'll
always
make it
You
happen.
can always grab Demyan.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
more.
I would Demian. Yes, I'd do that. That'd be.
So, okay.
Uh-huh.
Just to
So-
wrap.
I've got one more thing.
Yeah.
But
hit
yeah,
it.
so I've got Lord Buddhism at
So-
30.
Oh, Yang Mei.
Oh,
Do I need
Jesus
to roll
Christ.
this, or do I?
No,
just
you don't need to roll it.
Okay.
When you, after appraising all of those manuscripts, and you settle into your sleeping bag, almost too excited to sleep, you finally drift into dreams. You find yourself standing in that cave. The cave with the red Buddha. Only now, the walls are smeared only with the blood red warning in a language that only makes itself known to you as you look at it. They are come. The end is upon us, for they are come. There are no other paintings or frescoes on the wall.
But is it Russian or is it not?
It's Russian, it's Chinese, it's English, it's Tibetan.
It's all in blood.
It's all
It's
in
every
blood.
language I know.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
The letters drip and shift position as you try to look at them. You feel your stomach turn with all the ways that you are trying to catch this phrase, but it's still following you yet escaping you. Suddenly, you feel the earth shake, and the very ground beneath you splits. Movement in front of yourself as you duck out of the way, and a huge black bird flies up into your face, striking at your eyes with its claws and its beak. I need you to make a sanity roll.
Oh, no. Right at the end of the goddamn game.
Had to happen eventually. All right, hold on.
You manage to keep it together as... Wait, no, you don't manage
No,
to keep
I
it together.
don't manage to keep it together. Who the fuck? Oh, Charles.
Charles
Oh,
rolled
sorry.
it. He's like, oh, sanity?
I failed.
Sorry.
He was thinking about the dream he overheard.
Yeah, sorry.
You lose 1 point of sanity.
Alright.
There's now a bird just like clawing and pecking at your face. What do you do?
Hold on, let me.
This is a
take
dream,
my-
though,
what the
right?
fuck is my sanity?
Dream. You can still do stuff in a dream.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Why can't I find my sanity to take this away? Like I said. Meh.
Top, I think.
Sanity's the top. Right. On the top, on the right.
Of skills.
Oh,
Under
Or no, of
magic,
all things.
under wait.
magic points.
Okay, under magic sanity. Okay, Jesus Christ. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Oh wait, hey guys, my sanity is now 69.
Hey!
Pew pew pew.
Nice.
Nice.
Just
Alright,
for
okay.
Saturday.
This is all scripted.
I sit up in my bed and start swatting at my face
Okay.
and shouting.
You want to roll a brawl?
Oh, God, she's gonna hit
No,
somebody in the fucking face.
Yeah, so you're just flailing in your sleeping bag, and in your dream, you flail, and your hand passes, and as it strikes the bird bursts into a deluge of pink and white petals. Roll me natural world or science, biology, or botany.
Oh, I don't think I have. Oh wait, I have natural world. It's a 10.
Okay. Pink and white
Guessing
blossoms.
That's a fail. Yeah. Oh, I failed.
And then, as the petals fall towards the floor, it forms so very briefly into the shape of a seated figure, holding just for a moment. And then it dissolves into the pool of blood that seeps away through that crack in the floor.
A seated figure?
Yes. And with that, we're going to end tonight's session.
Nice. Oh my god. My toes were curling.
Whew. Good lord.
Well,
Thank you, everyone
Crazy.
on Twitch for tuning in. Thank you, you wonderful investigators. Now, how do we sign off again? All right.
You can say whatever you want. It's
Thank
technically
you
Yeah.
for
I know, it's
being
me.
our
Thank
GM,
you.
John.
Oh my
I spent
God.
all my time thinking about that bit in the beginning.
It's good. It's good shit.
Well, thank you for joining us. We love you all. And let's start with where you can find these investigators when they're not out in Central Asia getting spooked. Up at the top, it's Charles.
Hi, everybody. You can find me on the interwebs on Instagram and Twitch at Endymion's Fury, where I stream ESO, Magic the Gathering, and recently Valheim Viking Adventures.
That is Chris Pacier, by the way, playing
Oh, yeah.
Charles Lockhart.
That's me. Thanks, everybody.
And moving over to Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa, playing Dr. Eleanor Lockhart. You can find me on the internet on Instagram at vanessa.malanga. My name.
All right. Next up, Matt.
Hey, everybody. My name's Matt. I help to do things here on Slices and Dices, where you can find right over here at Slices and Dices. Catch us on all kinds of social media where you can just look us up here, and you can check us out on Twitch every Thursday and Friday, where you'll usually find us playing games of this kind or guest starring on other channels and shit like that. Yeah, cool stuff coming down the pike next week as well. And then we're taking the last week of November off because of Thanksgiving and stuff. But last stream of the week, last stream of the month will be November 17th. So catch us until then.
All right. Cool. Thank you, Matt. Next up, Sarah.
Hello, I'm Sarah. You can find me on the internet at Lovely Llama on Twitter for as long as it survives, Instagram, and Reddit with 2 L's in Lovely because someone stole my goddamn name. And here on Slices and Dices almost every Friday and some Thursdays. And the Thursdays I'm not here, you can find me and Matt on Mates of Fate playing Songs of Creation. So check out another Twitch stream, our sister Twitch stream. They're awesome. Come play.
Definitely check them out. All right. Finally, Ron.
Yeah, hey, it's me. You'll find me on Twitter for the time being, at Kane Reno, or on Instagram, which is Kane75, where I don't really post much of anything on that site. Don't really know what the
You're gonna have
post
to learn,
anyways.
baby.
I don't wanna.
Hey,
If Twitter goes away, you might have to.
Yeah, but I don't know what to post.
What the fuck? I don't even...
Take pictures of your breakfast. People don't care.
What
Yeah.
breakfast? I never have breakfast.
White woman's
Start eating
Instagram.
I never have time for
It's the most
breakfast.
important meal of the day, Tyron.
What meal?
All right. Thank you, Taron. And I am Jonathan. You can find me on Twitter at freshly_zested and on Instagram at blue4orange, where, sometimes it's barbecue, sometimes it's not. It's whatever
All the
happens.
barbecue.
Can't
And
wait.
you can find me around here, doing this spooky stuff and also getting spooked by Matt in Alien or reaching for the stars in Imagine Nights. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone. We love you. And remember, take care of each other. But also remember, take care of yourselves. Good night, everybody.